Hello and welcome to another episode of the Uncommon Energy Podcast. On this week's episode, we're going to be taking a look at the results of the Sydney and Santiago Regional Championships, which took place this past weekend. We will, of course, have Guess That Flavor Text, everyone's favorite segment of the podcast. And the bulk of this week's episode is going to be talking about the European International Championships coming up this weekend. We will, of course, be doing a tier list for the event as we do before all international championships and also the world championships. It's become tradition around here. And then we will have our weekly bonus episode exclusive to our YouTube channel members and Spotify subscribers. You want to show us a little extra support and also get some more content from us. That's the best way to do it. My name is Chipper. She joined here as always after a nice little break by my friend and co-host Azul GG. What's up, Azul? How we doing, buddy? How's your last couple weeks been?
It's been pretty good. I was in Japan, which I think I mentioned on the podcast. I don't even know if we mentioned it now that I'm like thinking of it. I remember mentioning taking that we were taking a break or week
I
break,
think you talked
whatever.
about it in the bonus episode, but I do not think in the main episode you said you were
Mm.
going to Japan.
Yeah, yeah. So I was in Japan for about a week, maybe like 8 days, 9 days, whatever. So it was a good time. Japan's pretty cool. Of course, I've been there once before for the World Championships 2 years ago now. And this time around, got to do a little bit more exploring. Went down to Osaka and then went over towards like Kyoto slash Shiga area as well. And yeah, I mean, Japan's just pretty cool. It's definitely somewhere I recommend people check out if they're looking for places to vacation. I mean, there's a lot of everything in Japan. There's more like you can get like there's places to go like out of the city, and then of course there is the city. And Japan's just really cool. It just feels the term culture shock is what people use a lot when they go traveling. I wouldn't say culture shock, but it is kind of I would say I'm a little bit more in awe of Japan than anything. It does feel like they're in the future. Like when you're in the city in Tokyo, it does feel like they're like in the future a little bit of basically the rest of the world. I mean, I've traveled to a decent amount of places at this point. I guess like Europe, I haven't been to a lot of the other European countries is what I'm kind of missing out on
Some of the
as
big
far as my
Chinese
travels
cities, I
go.
think, too, probably feel pretty similar to that.
Yeah, yeah, I would imagine. But yeah,
Korea.
that's what how I would kind of, describe it. It kind of feels like you're in the future when you go from being in having, like, been in a lot of major cities in America, into Australia, London. Yeah, it just feels like they're in the future over there in Japan a little bit. Feels a little futuristic, but then, like I said, you can still get out of the city, check out some more of the rural areas as well. So, yeah, pretty cool. Had a good week. And then recently, yeah, got back on Thursday. So I streamed Friday and Saturday actually was the watch party because Australia's like roughly a day ahead or whatever. So their Saturday is our Friday. So I got to watch Sydney, which was cool. It's cool that they had a stream for sure. That was super nice to have, and hopefully we see the same thing for Melbourne. I plan on trying to play in Melbourne, but it'll be cool if they have a stream, of course. And yeah, no stream for Santiago, unfortunately. Someone did apparently they did have a setup there, like a featured table. So someone someone did do a phone stream for the
Mm.
finals, but it was like it was pretty rough to watch. I didn't end up watching it. I was streaming during the time it was up, and then yeah, I played with Ascended Heroes a little bit today before recording, and yesterday Sunday because there was no tournaments on Sunday, of course, to watch. So been getting into playing a little bit with Ascended Heroes cards, mostly just trying out the new archetype stuff, which of course, like, as expected, is pretty underwhelming as far as competitive goes. But I haven't like gotten to the
Did you
ad.
play Dragonite?
No, I've Dragonite's one of the ones I haven't done yet, but like Rocket's Honchkrow and Hops, Trevenant, stuff like that. I've been trying out, trying to see what they can do. Of course, like I said, nothing competitive. I haven't put, yeah, I just like it just seemed kind of boring to like put Pokepad in every deck and then just play the same decks but with Pokepad. So I haven't done that yet because that sounds like the boring part of Ascended Heroes. But lots of stuff to do as far as that goes as well. Not going to be as fresh as rotation, but something to ease uh ease the suffering until rotation hits as we continue. But what about you, Chip? What were you up to last week?
Yeah, nothing too special going on over here the last couple weeks since our last episode. I did actually end up uploading a YouTube video to my personal YouTube channel for the first time, I think in almost It's the first public I've privated a lot of the videos that were on that channel, so, I think it's been at least 3 years, maybe 4 years since I uploaded a video over there, but Pokemon made a announcement about Ascended Heroes being delayed from EUIC, and that announcement came out, like, the day after we recorded our last podcast episode,
Yeah.
and that was the day Azul was leaving, so we weren't gonna have time to make an episode, obviously. I was like, "You know what? I just wanna get my thoughts out there about the situation," and so I made a YouTube video. I actually did, like, a dual upload with the podcast. That's, like, a cool thing you can do now with YouTube, so I got to kinda,
Yeah.
like, leech on to some of the podcast subscribers, like, on to get some traffic to that video. That's kinda cool, right? Um, but yeah, I don't know. I might make, some more YouTube videos when it comes up, not, like, something I'm super planning to keep doing. I've thought about just making videos about old decks, retro decks, and, talking about my, like, old deck collection. But yeah, that was fun. It was a lot of positive feedback, so I appreciate anyone who tuned in and watched and heard my thoughts over there. Azul, I guess before we continue, do you have thoughts you wanna share about the Ascended Heroes delay and not being legal at a UIC? Big bummer, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit bummer for the format to slow down. Definitely have to take the L on this one. And I'll share it with you a little bit because we were both like, we're both like, it's not going to be a big deal. They don't need to
Yeah.
ban anything. And I even made some predictions. I feel like you backed me up on them as well. That Poke Pads, whatever, wouldn't even be that expensive. But I
I
think
don't
they
think I
did
said
get.
that.
I think you agreed with me, but they are like up to like $8. Right now, it looks like
Yeah,
on TCG Player, so they did climb up there a little bit. So I'll take the L on this one. I was definitely wrong, and even if they had not banned it, I think people would have still been able to get their cards, but people would have been shelling out, and they probably would have been up to like $10. I would assume if competitive players were having to
probably
like get their hands
more.
on them as well, it probably would have been a little bit higher. So, not to say that like Pokepads being $8 is a reason to, like, make the set not legal for play, but it seems like and it is hard to say for sure whether or not it should have been delayed. I did see that sentiment a little bit in terms of just, as competitive players, we just need Pokepads and Zekroms. Like, do you really need to delay the legality of this set? Because you could make the argument, well, what about the player who wanted to play Larry's the Dunsparce? And like that
Yep,
is true, and that might
yep.
suck for them, but like, do we really need to delay the legality of it based on that? And of course, Pokemon on their back end probably has more information with than we do to make the call. So I trust that they
They
probably
knew
made
that
the right
Larry's
call.
Dunsparce was gonna be broken, so
I trust that they probably made the right call here in delaying the legality of the set due to the delays of the products being distributed out into the world. So it does suck. We're already in what felt like a pretty stale format. That was then going to lead into another pretty stale format or kind of an extension of it. But I mean, yeah, I guess it wouldn't really probably change too much. I guess maybe that's like a saving grace of it all. Is just like, was that much really going to change from Ascended Heroes? I mean, I guess we'll never know. And we only have a couple tournaments in this format now. In the Ascended Heroes format, there's only going to be that. There's only going to be a couple tournaments because it's not becoming legal until March 6th now. So we'll have a month of Ascended Heroes format, which only has. I don't even think there's a European tournament in that time frame. Possibly,
what
like
we get, Houston and, there's a special event in San Juan, Curitiba Regionals, Houston,
there's a special event in Sevilla, so
Sevilla,
there will be a European event, I guess. So we got a
and
couple.
then is Perfect Order legal for this in Mexico? In Orlando?
No, it's not. So those will be a couple more as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then in Prague, it'll be post rotation.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess there's not
Perfect.
even an event. It's like rotation happens and there's 2 weeks till an event. 3 weeks. Because rotation will be or I guess the rotation will be the 10th, 11th weekend. So 2 weeks after rotation, there'll be the first event in Prague. And then 2 weeks after that, the next event in LA, and we see the Champions League Aichi, they'll probably already have a new set by then, I think.
Yeah, I'm sure. Maybe 2, who knows,
Oh, yeah,
3?
because there's Osaka before then, and they usually line up rough there's usually never a Champions League in the same format, I don't think, like, back to back. Because like, Fukuoka, which is coming up, actually, we got this weekend is UIC, the next weekend is gonna be the first major tournament with rotation, in Japan, and, yeah, I don't think there's ever back-to-back Champions Leagues in the same format. I think there's always something new released between Champions Leagues, I'm pretty sure, or that's the way it's felt like, so, yeah, looks like they might have 2 sets before maybe mini sets or whatever, but some kind of new cards.
Yeah. I do think with this delay, this is something I said in my video, but I'll just reiterate it here. I do think like they probably have made a good decision just moving forward of the blanket, like the set will be released 2 weeks after not the first product comes out, but the first booster box or, in the set of these special sets in the case of these special sets, booster bundle or elite trainer box. I actually is it just elite trainer box? Yeah, the expansions first elite trainer box or booster bundle, whichever comes first. Just to, like, avoid any sort of, like, card scarcity issues, like because that's when the most packs are gonna get open. That's when the highest rate of cards into the market will exist. But one of the things I said, and I'll say again here, is I don't know why, like, why not just release the Elite Trainer box as the first product to come out of the year? I said I can understand it if, let's say, um, they wanna, like, ease people into the set and, like, set it up to be like, "Yeah, get excited for these," like, you get a couple packs, it's a little teaser, and then now look forward to the ETB, trying to sell more product. They're gonna sell 100% of the product anyway. Like, there's nothing for them to try to, like, tease into, you know what I mean? So, I don't know why they don't just, like, make the booster bundle or the ETB the first thing that comes out.
Yeah, I didn't actually. I feel like I maybe even didn't read this. I just read everyone's takes when this came out. So are they setting a precedent moving forward that
Yes.
sets will become legal 2 weeks? I actually didn't read that.
Yep.
So that'll affect what? That'll affect
It's just the special
our
sets, really, because all the
so
other
this
sets,
set and the
like
set between NAIC and Worlds, right?
well, we
Those will
have
be the 2
Perfect
sets.
Order, and then is there another special set, or will it be a mainline set? It'll be a mainline set, right?
No, I'm just saying, like, the next special set should be the one between NAIC and Worlds, right? That's when there usually is the other
There
special set.
usually is, yeah, and there
Yeah.
might be some 30th anniversary thing as well, so it might be even crazier to try to get, but yeah.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, the other thing, I guess, like, we didn't, you didn't mention it initially, but the other thing that came up with this is, like, PTCG Live. We had this happen
Mm, yeah,
with
yeah.
LAIC specifically, and so the point that comes up with this specifically is, like, Ascended Heroes is legal on PTCG Live right now on the ranked ladder and everything, and now, all of a sudden, Ascended Heroes for tournament legality got pushed back. How many weeks did it got pushed back 2 weeks effectively, right? And there's gonna be
Yeah.
people prepping for both tournaments, though. So that's kind of the thing. And that's what comes up specifically around LAIC is like the week of LAIC, a major set releases the week before LAIC, so it's not legal until the week after LAIC. But there's people prepping for tournaments the week or 2 weeks after LAIC. So that one is definitely just comes down to I just think just poor tournament scheduling around that major set release for LAIC. This one is just kind of an unfortunate situation where it's
Yeah.
like there's a couple different ways they could have handled this. They could have made it so Ascending Heroes like wasn't available on the ranked ladder immediately, which I think probably would have been the correct approach. It's just to like the ranked ladder probably should reflect the current standard legal format within like a 2 week period where it's like um
But I think they've made it pretty clear, especially with this post, that that's not what the intent of PTCG Live is.
yeah.
The intent of PTCG Live is to allow just Pokemon fans and players in general, uh, the ability to play with the newest cards upon their release.
Yeah, but you can still do
Um,
that. You just need to like and they do mention like trainer trials as being like a way to
to have a
um
competitive playlist or whatever.
yeah, but I think that's what the ranked playlist should be within like maybe a 2 week margin. Kind of like if they're not going to change when LAIC is, then it's kind of one of those things where it's kind of unfortunate that like the week before LAIC, it probably just needs to be the new format. Like the new set releases the week before LAIC. PTCG Live's ranked ladder probably should reflect that because like the weekend after LAIC, there could be a tournament in the newer format where people need to prep for that as well. So that's one of the things where it's like at some point we should move LAIC like a week further out so the new set is just legal at LAIC.
Yeah.
Um, for this type of situation, though, where this one is kind of just like an unfortunate thing that happened, it feels like it wouldn't have been bad for them to delay the card's legality on the ranked ladder and then for like 2 weeks, not the full month until it becomes legal, but just push it back 2 weeks. Like they push back the 2 weeks basically. I think it's something they could have just done to like kind of uh just around like the unfortunate circumstance of them all of a sudden delaying the product. But in the future, it's going to be weird if, like you said, if the ETBs aren't the first products released, are they going to release the new are they gonna release like a 3-pack blister
Yep.
and then it's gonna update on TCG Live Ranked Ladder,
Yep.
and then the ETB is not gonna come out for 2 more weeks, and then the
Yep.
set isn't gonna be legal for 2 more weeks after that. Like, I
Yep.
think that's kind of a problem for what should be a way to, like should be the way that people can kind of default to as a way to, like, prep for tournaments. So, it feels like it wouldn't be a bad like, well, that just sounds like all kinds of messed up, but, like, it wouldn't be bad to delay the ranked ladder getting the new cards for 2 weeks is basically if that's gonna be the situation moving forward for these special sets.
Yeah, I mean, it's just not what they want TCG Live to be. Like they understand like they say in this announcement, like they understand that it's become an increasing what did they say? I want to say exactly what they say. PTCG Live is designed to provide an environment within which players can enjoy access to newly released cards as they become available, as well as a space for those competing in play Pokemon events to immediately start preparing for future competitive play. Um, we hear loud and clear from the community that the game is playing an increasingly important role when it comes to preparation for competitive play. So, like, they understand that, but it's
Yeah,
like, it's not the mission and goal of the game is to cater to people who are playing in IRL tournaments. And they like have the numbers. I don't know what the numbers are, but I mean, I have to imagine like the number of people who play PTCG Live who are not going to whatever the next regionals or European internationals or like whatever the next big event is.
yeah,
Like it's definitely way more people who are playing PTCG Live who are not, competing in the next big majors.
yeah, definitely. But,
So
like yeah. I mean, it's one of those things though still where it's like, they also didn't think we needed an ELO in our ranked ladder, so they also made that change. So it's like, I don't
that's
think the
true.
community should, like, just stop pushing. I think it's incorrect for them to, like for it to not be a tool to be utilized, to be kind of to coexist alongside competitions. Because I think the end goal should be eventually a way to you should be able to earn championship points through PTCG Live. Like, we should all connect in some way.
Pokemon
We're
Go just
obviously not
announced
there.
championship points events.
Did they really?
Yep, on
Oh,
online. Yep.
I didn't see that. Wait, champion like, you can earn a world's invite now for
I'm
Pokemon Go?
pretty
Oh,
sure I
Pokemon
saw
Go.
that.
I when you said that, I thought you meant Pokemon Pocket. Like, I went to, like yeah, I was like
No, no, no. Let me see.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Did they really? Okay, see, and that should be an end goal, and obviously, if that is a goal not an end goal, but that should be a goal of PTCG Live, and if that is a goal, then obviously there needs to be some, um synchronicity between what we're playing IRL in tournaments as a current competitive standard format and what is being played on PTCG Live. And it's like what they say there, what they say is like the goal. I mean, I feel like what they said there and that isn't truly like even ignoring the fact that I don't even think they're basically saying that they disagree that it is a tool or could be a tool. And potentially the bigger and more competitive the game gets, the more it is a tool. So we just need to keep making sure that the problem is being heard. I think for and only for like I said, the LAIC problem is not so much these cards shouldn't be on illegal on TCG or shouldn't be available on
Yeah, yeah.
TCG Live
That's a
problem. That's an
scheduling.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's an LAIC is being put 1 week too soon problem. But for this kind of situation, I think the correct answer in this kind of situation is the ranked ladder should just be delayed by 2 weeks. I think it's just like the correct answer for a situation like this. I know they're saying that they're going to do the trainer trials things in the future. I don't think that's a sufficient answer though. I think the competitive format should be more consistently reflected on the ranked ladder on PTCG Live. We just want things to be more cohesive at the same time. It just makes sense for things to be cohesive in that way. Like I said, whether they think it's an end goal or not, or a thing that should happen down the line, you should eventually be able to earn championship points by playing PTCG Live. Even if they don't think that should be a thing right now, it's a thing that should happen eventually. And if I have to try and eventually convince them that it needs to be a thing, then I'll do my best. But yeah, that's
Mhm.
kind of my take on it. And that's, I mean, yeah, we'll see what happens in the future. Hopefully, this doesn't happen that often, but it sounds like it might consistently happen with the special set releases, which is pretty unfortunate. I guess it won't affect NAIC Worlds because there's a big gap between those two. But I guess it would just
Mhm.
be this. I guess it would just be the January season, the long January season gets even worse. It was already bad because it's like basically an extended format to begin with, and now it gets even worse because now we can't even use PTCG Live for half the tournaments in January and February to actually prep with them. So who knows what next, or if that's if that's what we have to expect now for next year as well.
Well, other than that, I guess this past weekend there was also the Super Bowl. Your Patriots did lose, so you can, kind of crawl away and then come out of your Boston sports fan shell whenever some other Boston sports team ends up in their championship game inevitably in the next, 12 months. So
Yeah, there'll be something on there for sure. It was I didn't even watch it. I was streaming during it, but I did have the score up, watching the
it was
score
not a
as
very
I
exciting game.
that's what I heard. Yeah, wasn't it like well, I mean, the Seahawks got like 4 field goals in a row to start things off or something like
Yeah.
that?
People were saying that the kicker might win MVP for the first time ever.
He was just cooking them.
Yeah. Well, he was the only one
Yeah.
and there was a point in the game where he was the only one who had scored any points, was the Seahawks kicker, uh, which was pretty funny. But yeah, ended up being a Seahawks win. There was also a Pokemon commercial during the game. I don't know if you saw anything from that.
Didn't I heard about it. I did
There
not
was a
see
little bit
anything
of
though.
like uh chatter about it online afterwards as well because it was, just basically a bunch of celebrities from around the world talking about, like, their favorite Pokemon and, like, what they liked about it, pretty much. Like, that was
Mhm.
the commercial, and it was like their big campaign is share hashtag share your favorites or whatever, something like along those lines. But a lot of people were saying, like, it felt, like hollow or weird, like, that it was, these, like, endorsed celebrities versus, like, actual Pokemon fans and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean
I thought the commercial was fine. I don't think it was, like,
I mean, it sounds like
special.
it's
The 20th anniversary commercial was great. I don't know if you remember that one where, like,
I
I
don't remember it,
rewatched I
no.
saw someone retweet it and rewatched it today for the first time in a few years where, um, this aired during the Super Bowl for the 20th anniversary in 2016, where there was, like, just these kids in different parts of the world like running around and seeing people do stuff. They're like, I can do that. And they're like inspired to go do something else great. And they go do the great thing. Someone sees them and someone's like, I can do that. And they do some other great thing. That was a really cool commercial, I thought. This one was just kind of like, whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like it's not for Pokemon fans. It's like people recognize a celebrity interacting with Pokemon. It sounds like for as wide of an audience as gonna be viewing the Super Bowl, that it is it sounds like it's a good commercial. It sounds like it probably is a good commercial for the what's the audience that they're trying to capture. They're not trying to capture Pokemon fans, right? They're trying to catch people who are like everyone knows about Pokemon, but they're trying to get people interested in Pokemon in some way. If you're already a Pokemon fan, you're already interested in the game. So this commercial is not for Pokemon fans. It's to
Yeah.
get people more interested in Pokemon, wanting to talk about Pokemon or pick up a Pokemon thing
It was
with
funny though,
someone
after this
they know
commercial
is
aired, I'm sure there's other people out there who had this similar experience there. It's like you have family members who just like they don't know much about Pokemon, but they know you like Pokemon. They were like, because so many people watch the Super Bowl, right? My grandma texted me and was like, Chip, did you see that commercial? Who's your favorite Pokemon?
See, there we go. That's what they wanted. It's
Yes.
literally doing what it is supposed to do.
Yeah.
People
What's
who
your
aren't
favorite? That's
Pokemon
it.
fans are talking about Pokemon.
Yeah. I do think it's cringe though. It says create your hashtag Pokemon 30 snapshot because you got to do it in Pokemon Go. And my Pokemon Go account got hacked and I was unable to get it back, which is a big bummer. But it's honestly kind of
Darn.
a blessing in disguise because now I don't have to worry or think about Pokemon Go anymore. So,
Reverse farmed. You got saved.
and then before we get into Sydney and Santiago results, I did also just want to say I will be at a UIC this weekend. I'm actually going to commentate, which I'm very excited for. Going to be a blast. I went 2 years ago to UIC in cast, or I actually hosted, I think, 2 years ago. So very much looking forward to going back. I'm going to be casting alongside Puka, which is something I'm really excited for. So
Have you
going to be
casted with
definitely a
Puka?
blast.
Have you casted with Puka before?
Yeah, Puka and I did a lot of the Players Cup tournaments together, and then we casted one round together at Worlds this past year, just one round, but neither of us was like there as a caster. I was like a host, and he was also like a pseudo host kind of this past year at Worlds. Um, so we did like one special round or whatever together, but there was like one regionals that we were supposed to cast together. Then he got sick, I think, and had to cancel the trip last second. and that was like 2 years ago. So we haven't done like a full tournament together since the Players Cups, which were all online. So I'm definitely excited for it. It's going to be really, really fun. Puka's like a legend of the game. So anytime I get to share the desk with him is definitely a exciting moment.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like he still hasn't been like, um, I think people are doing a good job of keeping the legend of Puka around. I guess that's what I'd
Yeah.
say. I feel like
People
still a lot of
some
people
of these
know.
youngins don't know though, bro. They don't
Yeah, for
know.
sure. Yeah.
They don't know how good Puka was at Pokemon.
Definitely not. But I think we're doing a good job as a community. I feel like a decent amount of people still know for sure.
If there's a Mount Rushmore of Pokemon, he's one of the four faces for sure.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Great player. And like the original one of the original like competitive content creators in
He
the
was also like
space.
a pioneer in event coverage as well. He was the
Yeah,
first one
yeah,
of the first people to like take a webcam to a tournament or like a camera and record the tournaments and upload them, you know.
yeah. The first ever US
World
national
stream.
stream. Oh,
He did the
US Nationals. The first ever world stream was that GameStop thing.
GameSpot. No, 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 there was a 2011
GameSpot
Worlds. They did
stream?
2011 Worlds, yeah.
Oh, was there? I thought that the GameSpot was the first one. Oh,
It was
they
Top Cut, I
recorded it?
think. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was just Top Cut. They
I don't.
recorded it.
Yeah, they didn't stream it. They just recorded it. I thought. Oh, maybe they didn't even stream the Nationals 2012, 2013 Nationals. One of those. They maybe just recorded it on. Oh, no, I think they maybe did stream it. They were like set up with everything.
What?
Stream.
20 what are you talking about? 2011?
No, 2012
Yeah, 2012 it was
Nationals.
streamed, I think, on GameSpot. Oh,
Not.
Nationals. I don't know about
Yeah, yeah,
Nationals.
yeah.
But here's Worlds, and it's on the top. You can still go watch it on the Top Cut YouTube channel. I
Yeah.
think in the beginning of this, Puka is bullying Crims for not knowing the name of Solosis, Reuniclus's basic form.
Yeah. It's alright. You don't need to know the names to be the greatest theoretical mind in the game.
So true. No, Puka knew them. Crims did not know
Oh,
them.
I know. That's I know. Grimm's the isn't Grimm's isn't that his thing? The greatest
Yeah,
theoretical mind in the game of
there you go.
the Pokemon TCG.
So
Yeah, I forgot
classics.
that
Yeah,
they
looking forward to it. It'll be good. It'll be good.
they did record that and they did that. Yeah.
But you're not going to EOIC Azul. I saw someone do a fantasy draft or whatever. You were like a second round pick, and I was like, sucks for that team.
Yeah, I did cancel, and they did come out with another wave recently with UIC, so somebody got my spot, thankfully, 'cause I canceled it a little while ago. I canceled it before they announced the delays, but now I'm, like, more thankful that I did cancel it because, I mean, it doesn't change Pokemon doesn't change that much, it would've been, like, a little bit fresh. There've
Yeah.
been new things to try out and maybe try and gain some, innovative advantage, so, um, yeah, definitely not regretting it, but, yeah, it was just gonna be a lot of travel, like, what I would've I got back from Japan on Thursday, and then I have to leave for London on Wednesday or something coming up. So I literally have to leave in like 2 days. Yeah, so I wouldn't even be back like a full week, and I have to be headed back out to international travel. I was just like, that's just too much. I just don't want to do that. Although I honestly like flying to Japan. Now that I'm thinking about it, and like flying back, I had like no jet lag there, and so far I've been like back on schedule like immediately. So maybe it's gonna hit me tonight, but if not, I think I'm in the clear to be honest, which is nice.
I am not looking forward to the jet lag for EUIC. It hit me bad 2 years ago. Every single night before, like a tournament day, a show day, I woke up at 3 a.m. and was wide
Yeah.
awake, could not go back to sleep, and then was just exhausted the entire day.
Maybe the direction does yeah, Europe travel usually hits me harder too, I feel like. Like for well, I don't know the difference
West
between
west to east is definitely
ye
harder.
but eventually you just come all the way back around, right? Like where's the is the breaking point Japan? Like that is the no jet lag zone is just Japan. Like literally for that I feel like that always happens to me for the European events. And it's bad at the event as opposed to coming back from the event. I don't know the
Yeah,
time difference between Stockholm and London, but like Stockholm, woke up at like 3. The first day is always fine. The first day is fine. Like go to bed around midnight, wake up around 8 a.m., 9 a.m. But then the second day, it's like go to bed around midnight, wake up at 3 a.m.
yeah.
And then it's just like, and that happened to me at last UIC and and at Stockholm when I went to Stockholm a couple years ago now. It's just like brutal, brutally bad sleep schedule. But yeah, maybe it is just the east to or west to east heading more east.
Yeah, west to east is no fun. All right. Well, 30 minutes in, you ready to start looking at some results?
Yeah, let's take a look at it. 2 tournaments from over the weekend.
Yeah,
What one do you
first
wanna
one,
start with?
you'll start with the one that concluded first. Go
Sure.
in timeline order here, which was Sydney, which saw a pair of Golden Go facing off in the finals. We'll look at the metagame is around 700 players. Day one
Sh
metagame
I was gonna say,
shows.
I think it's, like, worth it to go. I'm actually curious because now my curiosity, what was Sydney last?
Oh, how many players?
Yeah. Oh, was it 20? There wasn't a Sydney Regional Championships in 20. It says the last one was 2023?
23. Yeah, 23.
But what did they where have they been playing? Brisbane,
There
oh,
was
the
one
Brisbane, Perth,
Brisbane,
Melbourne?
Perth, maybe Melbourne.
Hmm.
The last Sydney regionals was 242 players in 2023. So
The last Brisbane was 617, last Melbourne was 563. That's what I'm a little bit more curious about, like, comparison to last season. Yeah, there was no what's it called last time, and then 470 yen. So, like, about 100 players more than their last regional championship, which is nice. I'm sure it capped, so
but I would say there's nothing super shocking in any of this, especially these like first three, right? Dragapult, Golden Go, Jellicent, but Grimmsnarl is pretty high, I feel like, for what we've
high on
seen,
turn
up to
on.
6.3%. Am I
I
not
would say
sharing my
turn
screen
the
with you?
no, turn the variant grouping on. I think it's always better to look at it like this.
Oh, sure. I
Yeah.
like splitting the
But it's
Gardevoirs
still
up,
but
but
you are right, it is still high, right? 16 or 6%.
yeah,
We it would the what was the Raging Bolt was one of the standout decks at, what event did we just have that was in
Toronto.
Merida? No, Merida.
Oh,
Raging Bolt was like 6% over there, but a
yeah,
lot of the
yeah.
times it's just been a bunch of threes. A lot of times it has been a bunch of threes. I guess we do see Raging Bolt is like, I mean, one of the slightly higher percentage decks. You know, it's beating out stuff like Sarah Ledge, which isn't too tough to do. Yeah, I feel like it's been fluctuating a little bit down there, like outside of the big four. But is Charizard? I guess that's another thing to point out here. Is Charizard about to leave the big four? Is its time done?
Grimmsnarl creeping up with all that hair, you gonna take
Yeah,
over, get Charizard out of here.
yeah, maybe. Yeah, Charizard is like that. I mean, I think that
It
might just
didn't
be.
convert super well.
Yeah, we'll take a look at Santiago and see what Santiago's numbers look like after this. I don't think it's. I think it'll still the big four will still be the big four, but Charizard's the one that is like definitely been waning in terms of popularity. It looks like for sure. Dragapult somehow like no matter what, it just always maintains no fluctuation. Um,
Yeah, I mean, I think Dragapult is like becoming like I mean, it's like just it's going to be this like super heavily played deck and um it's like the gatekeeper, it feels like a lot of times in the format is Dragapult, is Poltnor. Because it
yeah, I
is
feel
gonna
like
just be so popular. And even if it's like at the end of the day gonna lose in top cut to a Gardevoir or a Golden Go, right? Like it's just it is like
a
the
lot of really good
cornerstone
players
deck
play
of the
it.
format almost. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you could probably make that argument. I think the one deck I mean, you can make the argument for any of the three though, right? Because like
Not Golden
Guardian,
Go, I don't think. I don't think
well,
Golden Go
no,
is like a
well,
gatekeeper.
Golden goes like, well, I guess like gatekeeper maybe not, but it's like it's one of those things where it's like you can't disrespect any of them really, right? Yeah, like none of them are ever fluctuating enough to ever disrespect them. Besides Charizard, Charizard is maybe the one you could
I don't
disrespect
know, bro.
right
These
now.
Golden Go or these Dragapult players disrespect Gardevoir every time they submit their 60, dude. Like,
Yeah, that's why they always lose in cut. Like they'll get to cut, they lose, and then that's it.
not
Unless you're in
every
Europe.
time.
Unless you're in Europe. European pole players are just built different. Let's take a look at the conversion rates. I was looking at the conversion rates.
Yeah.
One thing I've
So
actually liked doing recently is just go to flip the conversion rate the other way around. So we look at the least, and then the like looking at the bad conversion rates for like the more popular decks.
zero Alakazam? What? I thought it made
No, bro, not the
Oh, was it the
Zams.
other tournament that it made ASIM? It did make
Yeah,
the
yeah.
ASIM in the other tournament. 0 Zams made it through. That's rough. Is there a way I can do this where it like
No, you have to like just go conversion, and then we can look at like
raw
so like
conversion?
um
Sarah Ledge, Dragapult.
Oh my,
Only 15.
that is bad. That is like a bad conversion there.
Yeah.
Charizard, I mean, like around the 20% I think is usually like fine. Golden Go had a pretty good showing.
Yeah, Golden goes. That's a good conversion
Yeah,
rate.
Absol as well. Did pretty
Yep.
good.
And let's look at some of those standings and players. It was eventually won by Golden Go. There's 4 Golden Go here in the top cut, 2 Mega Box, 1 Mega Kangaskhan, Tank Kangaskhan deck. And then only 2 Guardies, but they are Guardy Jellies. Only 1 Poltnor, but it was Henry Brand.
Yeah. Been playing that
And
for
then the 1
quite a while
Flareon as
recently.
well.
Yeah. And overall, Australia did have a pretty good showing at this tournament, which is something that they've been struggling to defend the homeland the last couple events. But they did pretty well here overall. Australia getting the dub, taking down Gabriel Smart, who made his way over to Australia, got another finals, thinking he was just going to get another free invite, cleaning up, cleaning it up over in Australia. I'm sure Gabe will end up with his invite at the end of the season, but almost just like locked it up here with another with back-to-back seasons of Australian dubs. Not quite. He still has one more. If he goes to Melbourne, he could still get his Australian dub of the year. But I don't know if there's a huge difference between some of these Golden Go lists. If you want to look through all of the Golden Goes to begin with,
Yeah, there's not really
anything crazy in
big
them.
difference. Let's look at
Feels like everything is just kind of known at this point for the
there's
Golden
not really.
Goes. Yeah, how do you want to do this shit? One at a
I'm I'm
time?
I'm I'm figuring it out. I'm figuring it out. I like doing it on Limitless as opposed to Labs because you can see like the
Yeah.
results paired with like other past events from the same 60, right? But it looks
Mhm.
like at least so far 3 for 3 on unique lists, 4 for 4 on unique lists. That's kind of
Yeah.
surprising, honestly.
What are people doing as far as their counts go that there's no other tournament where some of these Golden Go lists have been played? So, I mean, this build right here, 0 techs for teched out for Mirror, Prime Catcher, Premium Power Pro, Vitality Band, and the Cram, but no
No
Cornerstone
cornerstone
tech.
tech.
Or, I mean, even having something like the Mega Mall Wild or Lopunny is actually just nice against Toad Scroll as well. But the Cram is also really good against Toad Scroll. It's really nice to have that as an option. So, I guess like also nothing. I mean, Guardy's going to be a little bit tough as well. You have the Lana's Aid to help get a couple more energy back, but I feel like
Did
Guardy's
you
going to be
see the
tough.
Japanese Golden Go list?
Yeah, we should definitely take a look at that
That
as
that
well.
even though they didn't make cut, this might be the most interesting, deal from the weekend.
Yeah.
Lily's Golden Go with Legacy Energy is the A spec.
Yeah, and I will say though that this is not completely new. We did see Shintaro, I believe, play this at the last Champions League. And he got top 32. So we had seen it have some success over in Champions League Aichi. Shintaro played a pretty similar build. And I don't know, maybe there's more to this. Like that's pretty successful with the list. All three of them made top 32. I think Ryuki was in contention for cut. I'm not sure about Yoshiyuki. Kato, I think, started 03 in phase two. So he was out pretty quickly. But yeah, I mean, they all ended up in top 32 at the end of it all. So I mean, it's one of those things where you look at it and you're like, no one else is playing it this way. It didn't win or dominate the tournament, right? None of them even made top cut. But obviously, in comparison to how many people aren't playing the legacy lilies compared to people who are, it's gonna be harder for it to succeed still, because I don't think anyone thinks the other build of the deck is bad. So, I mean, it might be worth to investigate further for sure. There could be something here with the Lily's legacy builds.
In the mirror, you can do the one prize board state with a Golden Go, right? Effectively, if you
Yep.
find the legacy, but that could be the
I feel
thing. Like,
like
there's no way to really find the legacy. It's kind of just when you happen to luck into it, right?
I mean, after a couple of lilies, you'll have seen a lot of cards, right? You lilies plus Soul Rock and Lunatone. You're cycling the deck pretty aggressively. Um, so I could see that being like a kind of like a mirror breaker type card where it's like a big difference in the mirror match. Probably not going to do anything. I mean, is it mirror and Charizard? Like that might just be it, right? Because like against Guardian Bolt, they have enough tools to get around of it. I feel like it's not going to be a big deal for them to deal with legacy energy very often, or even to the point where it like messes them up. Like where it's like, oh man, now I have to like wait an extra turn to monkey dory the damage onto the legacy Pokemon to KO it. It's like, no, it probably can fit pretty smoothly into their plan overall. So it's got to be a Mirror and Charizard tech more so than anything.
Mm. But yeah, let's I guess break down the winning list, the unique things here. There's nothing like we haven't seen before.
Yep.
But no picnic baskets. Again, no Mawile, no Lopunny, right?
Yeah.
Um, does have the Premium Power Pro and Vitality Band, which seems like most lists do have at least like Vitality Band is in every list, and it seems like a decent amount of them have the Premium Power Pro. And then there's the Lana's 8 here as well.
Yeah. Went with the Cram. Has the Bravery Charm. So it's like no healing card, no Monkey Dory, no Picnic Basket. But the Bravery Charm
Yeah.
does a lot of the things that those cards can do in a decent amount of matchups. So it's not you wouldn't hate to be able to have room for a Picnic Basket or a Monkey Dory, but you have something. And the Bravery Charm is like the better card in the mirror match because you can put it on a Soul Rock, becomes a 3 hit, stuff like that. You're saying no Vitality Band, but I'm pretty sure Smart didn't play Vitality Band.
Well, he doesn't have it.
Yeah. So a little bit worse in the mirror for sure. Although I don't think the way they if you watch the finals, the mirror match wasn't determined because Lucas had the better list for the mirror. It was just a pretty funky play out overall. It didn't really play out how it feels like most of the time the Golden Go mirror plays out. But we see also this I guess this list here has Brave Charm and the Picnic Basket. So it was more tech for stuff like the Grim Snarl matchup and the Pulp matchup as opposed to the mirror matchup.
Goodness. There we go.
Chrome breaking.
I was just clicking back and it wasn't going back. Then we've got Brent Thompson here getting top four with the same list he played in Toronto and the same list he played in Merida. Sticking with the same 60, had a lot of success with it. I wonder if he's even changed his sleeves. He's just rolling
Yeah.
up like he's got it all ready to go.
Hopefully he changes his sleeves after this. Then he get changed at some point. 3 tournaments is a lot. 3 tournaments all phase two as well. Like, yeah, it's a lot of potential grime buildup. Um, yeah, change your sleeves, Brent. For sanitary reasons. Don't let him into Europe with those sleeves. They're gonna quarantine him.
Then we've got Flareon list. I think this is just one card different than Emma Hagen's list.
Yeah, so we see another cut with the Flareon. And we keep seeing it show up. It's also once again one of those decks not going to be very heavily played. So like that speaks a little bit more to its success. Always it's just like I mean we could look. What was it like 1% Flareon or something at the tournament?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Not very much. Um, that always speaks a little bit more to the success of the deck. It over has to overcome. We're speaking about like there's like a thing where I guess you think about it a little bit. It's like player versus deck choice, where it's like if Torch shows up and he's the only one playing his deck, no one's surprised he's in cut. Their deck's a little bit more established, but still, it definitely adds to the outcome of it all. You're theoretically overcoming like higher odds because of that, or the deck scene success is less likely.
And then world champ Henry Brandon cut with Poltnor.
Yeah, second or third cut this season. Actually, he might be playing the exact same 60, so we could just scroll down. Oh yeah, he cut Auckland as well. So this is his third cut. I don't know why they have Auckland on this though, because it was just a League Cup, not
Two tournaments, fifth place, two in a row.
yeah,
But yeah, he's got the rare candy in here. That's kind of the unique thing, the way he's been playing the deck.
one candy.
The one singular candy. When you find it, it's gonna be probably pretty good. So I don't know.
Was he playing? What, like, was he playing two nest balls like over at the Europe in the European tournaments that he was playing basically the same
Oh
deck
yeah,
at?
maybe. Let's see.
That the adjustment?
No, still one.
What is it? Oh, the Turo, no Turo?
Yeah, no Turo.
Yeah. I can see that making sense. You don't really need it for like big combo plays very often. Most of the time the Turo gets involved as just like a way to deal with like clutch from Yveltal, which hasn't been as prevalent lately. Most of the Grimmsnarl players are cutting the Yveltal. It's really just the Mega Absol deck that is still rocking it.
And it's less
Um,
popular.
yeah, yeah, quite a bit less popular.
And then yeah, speaking of the Kangaskhan, the mega box, we've got Tim Franklin in cut with it. Toad Scroll in here. Also, one jumbo ice cream. Get a little healing action.
Yeah. I've been a pretty big fan of the Jumbo Ice Cream. myself in the deck. It's just nice because sometimes your opponent like tries to get in there on your app, so I'll just be like, well, I'll just set up for a 2-hit KO. I'll just do a little bit of damage now, and then you hit him with like Jumbo plus Monkey Dory and completely negate their whole turn, which can be kind of cool.
A lot of healing.
And then, yeah, is rocking the Toad Scroll build, which seems to be like the go-to way to play the deck in terms of the tech for Golden Go. Like this seems to be like the definitive way to beat Golden Go is to play the Toad Scroll because like there's nothing stopping Tim from playing the Flareon package. We've seen that before, and we've seen it not just from Tim, but Fernando Cifuentes as well. Been playing the Toad Scroll package.
He did beat 2 Golden Goes and then lost to Gabe in Cut and then tied Gabe in Swiss.
Yeah, the tie there.
Was
tie
this
there
one
was
on
a
stream?
Yeah, they ID'd with 10 minutes left, which was favorable for Smart because Smart could ID twice. Danklin, on the other hand, though, needed a win, so a tie was effectively a loss. So questionable tie
Interesting.
from Danklin, did not get punished as he took out a Grimmsnarl in the next round, but did eventually lose to Smart in top. And he did
ID'd
end
with
up.
10 minutes left. That's so funny.
Yeah, I mean, it was unlikely for either player to win, of course, at that
Yeah, what
point.
was the situation? Were they going into game 3 or something?
Yeah, going into game 3,
10
they
minutes
chose
left.
to ID, but a tie was a loss for Tim, and a loss was a loss.
Well,
You need to win a match.
sure,
The tie there,
if you're only thinking about Cut, but if you're thinking about the game, like you said, the game is most likely to end in a tie anyway, right? With 10 minutes left.
yep.
Who is more likely to win though? If someone's going to win in 10 minutes, which of the two players is more likely to be the one to win? It's the Golden Go player, right?
Yeah, but you should just maximize your odds for the win so you can advance in the tournament. Like you maximize your odds for winning that match, and then maximize your odds for winning the next match. You have to win what you have to win to
But
make
if you're
cut
most
is
likely
when you
going to
make cut.
tie, why risk if it's
Because you're
like
you're losing out on win percentage. You're losing out on potential match win percentage.
if the only thing you care about is winning the tournament, which I don't know
Yeah.
what his goals are necessary. I have to imagine he's, championship minded, but also at the same time in the back of your head, you're like, if even if I do tie here, I end up with top 16, top 32, that's $1,000, right? Like, sure, it
See,
ties the same
see,
as a
Chip.
loss, but it's like it's if there's only a 10% chance I win.
Yeah, but this is what I tell my chat. We don't mind read people. We just assume people are trying to win the tournament because mind reading outside of trying to assuming they're winning the tournament is a waste of time.
Well, you you are trying to mind read people by saying that they are trying to win the tournament.
We have to pick some.
That it's the only thing.
We're assuming people are showing up to a
I would
competition
say
to attempt to win the tournament.
it's much more likely on average that people are thinking about the top 32, top 16 money than they are thinking about the I'm not saying this for 10, just in general. In general, I think more often than you would give it credit for, people are thinking about locking
Yeah,
up
but
a
I'm not
top
gonna.
32, locking up a top. You just said we have to pick something. What do you mean you're not
Yeah,
going to?
so we're gonna pick that the people are trying to win the tournament. That's the thing that makes sense. That's the
Because that's what
interesting
makes
thing.
sense to you. That's
No,
what
that's
you
the
want them to do.
no, but like I'm not gonna say. But let's say, but like if we're saying there's an array of options, just pick one. Just pick one and be consistent with it. Which is we're assuming people are showing up to the tournament to try and win the tournament. What this is not like a crazy take at all. What?
I'm not saying it's a crazy take, but I'm
No,
saying
and they
like
could be thinking that, but I'm not going to try and like in the moment try and pick what I think they're thinking. I'm just going to assume the players are always trying to win the tournament. If they want to pick something
but
else, that's
why?
fine.
There's no reason to.
Because like trying to come up with different reasons for why they did a thing instead of just like picking the one reason all the time just means you're doing more work for without knowing. Like on average, I mean, like,
But making an assumption without knowing the reality,
but then should we
uh,
just not make any assumption? We should assume that
no.
players are never
But I
playing
think
in a way
it's
to do
fine to
anything.
consider all factors. There's nothing wrong with considering all factors and recognizing nuance in individual situations.
It's just not relevant to, like, analyzing the gameplay, though. Like, we wanna approach the analysis of the gameplay assuming the players are trying to win. If a tie works out if a tie would be, like, fine for a person to progress, that's why it's, like, for Smart, like, an ID there makes sense because you just ID the next round, and he's guaranteed to hit someone he could ID with.
Yeah, but if Tim could potentially lose the game much more likely than he could win the game, then it makes more sense for him to tie because the only it's a neutral, it's a positive outcome. It's more than neutral because he may have a higher placement in the overall final standings of the tournament. Maybe that's what you should people want to place as high as they possibly can in the tournament, not necessarily win, but to have the highest possible placement. And
No,
his highest
I'm
possible,
never gonna approach tournament analysis that way. I'm never gonna be like, all right, how do we maximize? Then every round would just be a tie. And we just want
no,
everyone to tie every round.
no, because your expected outcome going into a game
Not every
is,
round. But some rounds we just look at it and be like, well, honestly, this is an unfavorable matchup. They should be playing for a tie from turn one here on out.
one time I was at a regionals, it was round 8. This Daytona regionals, that Daytona regionals that everyone played the Tool Drop Dimension Valley Garbodor deck. You remember that one?
Yeah.
I was playing that deck. It was like I needed to win the last 2 rounds, I think, to make day 2 or something like that. And or no, I could tie win. I could tie
Yeah.
win. I needed 4 match points, something is what it was, something like that. 8th round, opponent and I are going into game 3 with 5 minutes left. He's like, uh, we're like setting up. He's like, I mean, yeah, I guess it's just going to be probably a tie, but we just set up and play. And I start Trubbish pass, and he donks me with Turbo Dark. I don't know. I wouldn't have hated just if he was like going to be down to tie, probably could have just tied there. I don't know.
Yeah, sure. But I want to analyze. I'm just not going to analyze the gameplay from that point because then I have to mind read the players. I don't want to mind read the players. I'm going to assume they're going to do what I think would be the best thing to win the tournament. And I could be argued that I'm wrong, that it's not the best thing to win the tournament. I'll concede that. Or the player could tell me afterwards, no, I want to tie there because I want a top 16. I'd be like, okay, that's fine. But in the moment when I'm analyzing the gameplay, I'm assuming that they're going to do the thing that gives them the best odds of winning the tournament. Is how I'm going to approach the analysis or what I think it is. And I could be argued out of my point. Like I could be like you could argue me like, no, actually, this is the better thing to do to try and win the tournament because of X and Y. And I could be like, oh wait, you're right. Actually, yeah, that is better to win the tournament. But yeah,
Well, any other cool decks in Sydney we want to talk about? There was a Tank
there's
Kangaskhan
a
in
tank
pets.
Kangaskhan. Or we could take a look at the other Jelly Guardy first, I guess, and close out on the Guard Wars.
Sure. There it is. All right. Now the Tank
All
Kangaskhan.
right, tank Kangaskhan.
I know you're very well versed with this deck. They've got the Shaman in there,
Yes.
but this list does have a lot of other wacky stuff. There's an Iron Leaves.
There's an Iron Leaves, which I get maybe it's to close out the game against Charizard, I would guess. It does force you to have to play grass energy, but you have flexibility for that as well when you're not playing Cornerstone in the when you're not playing Cornerstone in the deck, you have the flexibility for playing different types of energy. And I have to assume the Iron Leaves is just for the Charizard match. I guess maybe Zoroark? Maybe it's
Both.
for Zoroark?
Both. I mean, why not both? Like
Yeah. And also, I guess I don't fully know how the Grimmsnarl matchup plays out as well, so I guess you have that as well. You also want to KO the
that's
Grim.
kind of a decent amount of meta percent that Iron Leaves hits right now, honestly.
Does it? It doesn't quite KO a Mega Absol, but if they build up damage first, I guess it would. Wait, how do we find it?
Cypher?
One cipher?
I guess yeah, there's no
Wait,
Ultra
there's
Ball.
no. Oh, there's no
Troll.
Nest Balls. There's no Ultra Balls. Oh, they Brox. They have Brox. They have Brox. They have Brox. We have
Okay, there you
three
go.
Brox. We have outs. We have outs. I was like starting to panic there. I was like, how are we ever finding this card? And yeah, choosing not to play a standard Golden Go tech. They have the Eries. So they're hoping to hit some superiors with the Eries.
And
Um,
Xerosix, I guess.
yeah. The Zerosic is just not good against Golden Go. I don't know. It's just not a very good tech against
That
Golden Go.
oh, honestly, you know what that is,
But
Azul? That is the Alakazam tech.
you probably beat Alakazam. Did they play against any Alakazam? That'd be pretty funny.
No, they did not. That would be funny though.
It is also good up against Mega Absol sometimes because sometimes you don't want to punch each other. So you just like sit there and then you wait and use Zerosic them.
Mm.
Be good in those kind of situations as well.
Other Kangaskhan decks. Charlie Lockyer going over from the US, also playing Toadscruel in the Mega Box deck.
Yeah. And this is close to what Tim was playing, right? Is it actually the same?
It's not the same. Is it like a Toad School difference or something? It might be. Yeah, I think it might be it might literally just be a Toad School difference.
When do they
It's like they
oh, it's
play
2
2
different
different
fighting
fighting
ones.
ones, yeah.
Sure.
This one is yeah, the other one is this one is just better because it has a colorless for 10 attack.
Yeah. What is the other one? 2 colors for 20?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes I see stuff like this and I low key wonder if uh like Charlie meant to submit this one and played this one, but like accidentally on Arcanine like submitted this one, you know.
I mean, the wrong Toad
Yeah,
School.
yeah. That stuff happens all the time. It's like totally not malicious or anything like that.
Yeah.
Just like
And put the wrong cool.
wrong cool.
Thankfully,
Yeah, I
it's
think
just
that is
not
the difference.
very thankfully, it's not very consequential. The only thing big decision you really have to make with them is if you wanna play the grass one in case you play against a deck that's playing the Forest of Vitality, so you can, like, get a quick Toad Scroll into play.
But yeah, there we go. There is the results of Sydney. Let's hop over and look at Santiago now, and look at that metagame and talk about how it differs. So a lot less, 2% less Grimmsnarl is not insignificant. But Dragapult does still remain the most popular.
Oh, geez, that's by a lot.
22%, yeah. Goldeo and Gardevoir holding it down though, and Raging Bolt still 6% there popular. A little bit more Saraledge, less Alakazam.
Yeah. Alakazam was,
Alak
like, actually up there for a little bit before this weekend, like, at the tournaments prior to that, which
At
was what
Toronto, it was like 4.5%, dude. It was the literal
yeah.
7th deck it was like the first one off the graphic.
Yeah, I think it's the same here for or not quite, it's almost 4%. It was almost 4% at Birmingham, and then it was at Merida, 1.8. I guess it was quite a bit worse there, actually. But yeah, like you said, Toronto was pretty popular. I guess that was Toronto, like, the first big tournament? Those are more people who are still had, like, more confidence in the deck's potential. I think it was the first big tournament, right? In that format?
Phantasmal format? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So confidence was an all-time high.
Outside of Stuttgart.
Yeah.
Dude, I forgot how long this format has been because the set was legal in November.
Yeah, it's gonna be
Holy cow.
quite a bit longer too. We're not done yet.
I mean, the Alakazam deck only gets better with uh
We bet.
Ascended Heroes. Pokepad, right, is a huge buff for the deck. And we have Esteban here making it into top cuts. Alakazam's first top cut Azul,
It
able to
gets
make
in
it
there.
happen.
It's been I don't know how close it's been a couple times, but we've seen 64s at the very least, maybe some top 32s. It definitely is not a deck I would have predicted to make top cut. And my opinion on the deck hasn't changed too much. It's still cool to see. I mean, I would love for the deck to prove itself further and to even see maybe a top cut from it at UIC. And this is like a pretty standard list from like all things considered. Like there's nothing they didn't bring any like crazy new tech to
No.
the deck. Like this is pretty standard as far as Alakazam lists go. So as far as it seems like it's being figured out, and it seems like it has maybe been figured out as the way to go with Alakazam, and it's proven itself here for the first time, making the top cut. Definitely a question on if it can repeat itself, but yeah, it's pretty sick to see.
Yeah, it feels like I mean, I wonder if this is if that every single there's always like a deck where it feels like every single set it gets just like a little extra piece, right? And it's been Gardevoir for the Scarlet Violet era, right? But for
We have a lot of Garganacles in the standard
and
format
we've got a lot of
currently.
good fighting support so far in Mega Evolution era, right? We've got
Yeah.
the fighting stuff from the base set, the Barbaricles coming out, right? That card seems pretty good. There's just a little bit of stuff sprinkled in along the way. But Alakazam, I mean, Dawn, Wondrous Patch, big boost, Pokepad, big boost. The psychic special energy coming out. That's something that it could use as well. It's probably not as good in this deck as some other psychic decks, but Maybe not bad. I don't know. It's like, is this the deck that is gonna just keep getting a little better every single time?
Yeah, and then, yeah, of course, actually, even with rotation, once rotation hits, it loses some ops as well.
The Iono.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know, we'll see. It might be able to continue to climb up there. It definitely is, it also is one of those decks where it's, like, it does feel like it's not far as well. Like, it's not one of those decks where it's like you play it, and it obviously is getting new stuff, but it's like, "Nah, this deck's probably never getting there." But it does, the deck does feel like it is close to competitively viable. I wonder if it becomes like an 8% meta deck, like, how much that'll increase the tie rate at tournaments, because Alakazam turns take forever.
They
Like, that
do.
is, they are draining the clock,
And
so
it's all one prizers too. So like
yeah,
that's 6 full knockouts. The games are gonna be longer.
yeah. The tie rate increaser.
Yep. But the event was one. I mean, we go from talking about the cool, unique Alakazam deck to yep, Gardevoir one.
Yep, Guardy took it all down. There's quite a few Gardevoir in top cut as well. It was kind of just like all Guardian Pult and cut, and it is the
This is Giovanni's list. It looks like it.
close.
But it is the non-jelly Guardy that takes it down.
Yeah, non-Jelly Guardy, Team Evos.
Oh, Giovanni played Jellicent.
Oh,
I'm tripping.
I was gonna say, actually, I noticed now there was no like designated Charizard deck actually in cut of either of the tournaments. There's a Pult Zard, but there's no like Zard deck in cut at either of these tournaments. Yeah, I mean, we're just speaking about Zard's potential fall off. Um, Not only is its play percentage going down, but also no placements.
This is probably the best Charizard deck right now, honestly. And it's really a
Mm,
Dragapult deck.
yeah, I mean, maybe it is. I guess if Dragapult's going to be 22% of the metagame, you need to be able to like have a better matchup against them, and this is what that is like one of the perks of playing. Well, I don't know if it's a Pult Zard, it's a Pult deck or a Zard deck. I feel like it's more a Zard deck. I feel like your power of playing this deck comes through the Charizard. It's just like Pult, is obviously very good, but like the real power you're gaining is by including Charizard in the deck. And then obviously you are got quite a few Pult pieces in there. It allows you to actually compete against Pult decks as well, even if you are probably unfavored against Pult Nor. You actually still have a chance against them, as opposed to the straight Zard decks do struggle quite a bit. So I don't know. Maybe this is, if you're gonna play a Charizard EX, maybe it's best to not play a designated Charizard deck if Pult's gonna be this popular.
Azul recommending Zard
I mean,
for
only
the
if you really
first
want to play
time
Charizard
ever.
EX. Only if you really want to play Charizard EX. You could also like go with like the slower build, kind of like what I played to Toronto, I guess. Like that one doesn't have as bad of a Pult matchup either, but you don't want to be hitting Pulse all day, that's for sure.
Kind of an interesting build here from Joel Ortiz with a Squawkabilly in Poltnor and also 2 rare candy.
Yeah, only one Dusclops. So like the candy, I guess, fills that void a little bit. And then yeah, I guess you play more games with Squawkabilly. That's actually something we saw the Australian group do at Worlds, is they played Squawkabilly in their Pult. And I think we actually have seen it a time or two since then. But this might be the highest placement we've seen from a Squawk Pult with the top cut here. It is one of those things that's really weird where it's like Squawkabilly is a good card. It's not like it can't be terrible in the deck. And then it's just like, but is it like no one else is doing it? It's so hard to figure out like if it's right. Like you either should or shouldn't play it. And especially think about a card like specifically like Squawkabilly, it's a little bit different than like a one of rare candy or even the two of rare candies, where it's like it falls a little bit more into like the path of how the deck usually functions. It's like Squawkabilly just strictly increases the amount of games you play through like your turn one opening hand. So it's like you either just should or shouldn't play it. And then how do you just like, I mean, it feels like the majority of people decide you shouldn't, but we still see it pop up here. Get the placement. I guess like Joel would maybe have some more insight on that. Maybe Joel would be just like, no, do not play the Squawkabilly. It's terrible. But yeah, I don't know. It's always, those cards are always like really puzzling to try and solve sometimes, especially when it seems like the player base is more split. Obviously, in this situation, way less squawks than more squawks. But
We got a Dragapult Blaziken deck here in Top Cut. I had not seen this yet.
yeah, I feel like this is probably inspired by Fabian.
Fabian, yeah.
Yeah, quite a bit. And Fabian did get a top cut with it at some point, right? I feel like he definitely did.
He did, yes, he did.
Yeah. We're seeing another cut from it here. And once again, like it's not a very heavily played deck, which speaks to like the finish a little bit here, but also that is always going to be an advantage for a deck that's a little bit in the unknown as well. Um, but yeah, I mean, I played quite a bit with Pult Blaziken, different builds. I've tried some of the builds that Fabian has had success with in the past, and yeah, I mean, I got no clue to be honest how good the deck is overall. It's just like it's good. Like the Blaziken's a good card, and then the baby Blaziken is probably the best card in the deck
Yeah, this
for
card's cool.
sure. But yeah, I don't know. It's the deck feels very fragile overall. The deck always feels super, super fragile, but really, really powerful when you set it up. You have a lot of powerful options. Like, yeah, the Baby Blaziken is by far the best card in the deck.
Other than that, I mean, there's some Jelly Guardies here. Here's William Azevedo with another top cut.
Yeah, he's done it again. Playing the Jelly
Looks,
Guardy.
yeah,
Nothing
similar to the
crazy.
LAIC list.
Plays a boss. There's a boss in there. That's probably the biggest
Mhm.
standout, maybe. Yeah, still has the Drifloon with the Braver Charm and the Mega Diancie. It's really similar to that.
Yeah.
No
I like
Devo.
the idea of playing a boss in a Gardevoir deck. We've seen it pop up every once in a while over the last couple years. It just kinda can let you break some, like, slow board positions, right, and, like, take
Yeah.
charge of the game, right? There's also 3 Kirlia in this list too. Oh, and no TM Evo. Yeah, 3 Kirlia, no Evo. Yeah.
It's a little puzzling for sure. Because there's also no way to like you'd assume like one of the reasons to do that would be because you're gonna get into Frillish early. And then and you're not gonna get into Frillish super late, but there's like no air balloon, there's no Latias to like turn one Frillish and then build up into your Guardy as things are slowing down. That is definitely weird. I actually have like no way to there's no Arvin in there, so you have no way to find the TM Evo if you wanted that. So I guess
Just
against
secret box.
yeah, so I guess against Pult, you're just hoping to naturally draw into the Curlia line is like the idea there, I guess.
The more of them you play, the more likely you are to draw
Yeah.
it, right?
Up next for Curlia, be the 3-4-2
Just
line.
get back to real honest Pokemon. 4,
Yeah.
4, 3 of your attacker or your main guy, right?
Yeah. No, it definitely is interesting, And maybe also it's helpful against other Jelly Guardies, I would assume, I guess, as well. Allows you to item lock and more likely to set up your Guardy under item lock as opposed to just playing Team Evo and playing for your own Team Evo or something like that. Or get your Jellicent set up, take away their Team Evo, and then go from there.
But other than that, there's a couple Raging Bolts once we get outside of the top 8, kind of hanging around here.
Is the Badoo new for the
Nothing
That's
super
the Yurko?
crazy.
Was that Yurko? Was that did they play the Badoo? That the Badoo's a new inclusion, I feel like.
Yeah, that is a new one. Looks like Oscar Videla also played it here at this tournament. Yeah, the Badoo is interesting.
Yeah, slow down the early
Uh,
game.
I mean, you can Ditto into it. You can fan rotom for Badoo, right?
Yeah. I
I
was
wonder
actually
what matchup that's best against.
Yurko actually started 8-0, so I was surprised to not see him. Had a pretty rough must have had a pretty rough run after. Actually, I think he ended 9-1-3. So I was surprised to not see him in cut there. I thought there would for sure be a Raging Bolt in the top cut there. Still ends up top 16, 12th place, so not too far outside
Jeez.
it, but yeah.
8-0 into 1
Just need to
1-3.
win one of those last two, I guess, yeah. And then would have been locked up. I guess got an up pair as well in the last round because Murillo only needed a tie there to make top cut. Building
Yeah, wow. And he and Fernando tied. Fernando's playing the same list that Yerko had been playing.
up quite a page there.
Yeah. We'll probably see more from it at EUIC this weekend? Question mark, maybe. And then oh, look at this quad cross. just Cressel the deck.
Yeah, I think we saw. I think this list is pretty similar to. I think Mehdi Hafi played this at Birmingham. Just quad Crustle. I saw him tweet about it. I actually tried a couple games with it, but dude, playing Crustle on PTCG Live Ladder is so miserable. I just could not do it.
How
Like
so?
trying. It's just like it's just so boring. Like games take forever because like you don't win that quickly with Crustle. And your opponent's
Yeah.
not conceding. Um, like
Sometimes
playing
they try to clock stall you too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You still ought to lose to Guardy, like, right? Like, this isn't like a Crustle list that all of a sudden beats Gardevoir or anything like that, so, yeah, playing Crustle in tournament like, playing any deck like this in tournament when you're, like, making a meta call with it is always gonna be, like, fun and interesting, but on TCG Live, it is just not
Mhm.
it's just not it.
It's not it.
Not it on TCG Live.
Well, there's the results. We don't have any predictions to recap because we didn't make any because our last episode was 2 weeks ago,
I guess we
but
could have made some
yeah,
preemptively, but
we didn't though. That's all
next
right.
time.
Worth just throwing it out there before anyone comments. I don't know if feels like Azul and I got like heated at each other during
Oh.
our discussion in there, but I'm always down for a hearty debate, and
Yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah.
always in good faith between the two of us. So please don't worry about any of that.
Yeah, me and Chip are not gonna hold a grudge against each other after the podcast is over with.
Well,
I
at
mean, I
least
guess if you
publicly.
want to. Okay.
Azul, it is time for Guess That Flavor Text, where each week Azul or I picks a card, has the other host try to guess which Pokemon is featured on that card after reading the flavor text from it. We do keep score, and I'm closing in and looking to take back my lead once again, make things right in the world this week as I have 40 points, Azul has 41.
Really holding on.
You can get up to 4 points, and then there's 3 lifelines you can use for each lifeline you use. You do lose one of those points. The lifelines are what set the card is from, what stage the card is, and read an attack name. And Azul's turn to pick something out, like I said, and I'm ready for it, man. If you've got it.
I've got it. uh, it can return to its trainer's location regardless of the distance separating them.
Hmm. Well, to my first thought is either some sort of that's not a lot of information to go on the flavor text. So I almost wonder if it's like an old card. You don't often pick old cards though. Um But I guess, like, just thinking about the characteristics of what this Pokemon could be, some sort of flying Pokemon, being able to fly back to cover that distance, or something really fast, like an Arcanine or a Rapidash, like something that you would perceive as being able to cover a long distance. Dragonite is known for being able to fly very long distances. I could see it being like maybe a Pidgeot or Staraptor, Fearow, like one of those bird Pokemon. So I'm gonna need a little help to narrow things down. I only need 2 points in order to take the lead back here. So let's start with hmm, let's start with let's start with read an attack name, see if I can get anything from that.
Why?
Okay, so a flyer. Okay, so that's gonna cut out the Arcanines, Rapidash, anything like that I was thinking of.
Yeah, I can obviously see the card, but like I didn't when you said that, I didn't even like think you would be thinking about something that couldn't fly. I just like when I was thinking about like what you could possibly like
I
guess
mean,
when
it
I
can
was
cover
looking at
great
the card.
distances on ground, right?
No,
In
yeah, for sure.
theory.
I didn't even like go that route at all though when I was like thinking about the card. It's like, should I
Yeah.
pick this one?
Okay, so fly. I mean, I feel like Pidgeot's pretty often got fly. It's kind of that was really one of my first thoughts. Um, what set is the card from?
Black bolts.
Okay, so that helps a lot. So is it Unfezant maybe then? Uh, Gosh, I wish I knew better which half of the Unova Pokedex is in each one. You know how Black Bolt and White Flare work, that it's all only Pokemon from Gen 5, right? Did you know that?
No.
Okay, well,
I did not know that.
that helps a lot. So Unfezant. I don't remember if it's Unfezant or Unfezant. I kind of think it's Unfezant. I'll look it up though. Um, what else is flying? Emolga. I don't think Emolga learns fly. It is flying though. Um, I will say this is the generation of Pokemon I definitely know the least about. Because it is when I was not actively playing the video games in my life. Um, yeah, and Pheasant, I guess, is like kind of just I'm having a hard time narrowing it down past that. I guess if I got what stage the card was and you said not stage two, I would go with something else, but I kind of just want to try to take the lead back here. And Pheasant, let me hear the flavor text just one more time.
It can return to its trainer's location regardless of the distance separating them.
I don't think it's gonna be like one of the legendary Pokemon because like they're not like Pokemon that their flavor texts don't often talk about the trainer. I feel like. Yeah, really. Could it be like Swanna? I guess maybe Swanna is something else. I'm trying to think of just the other birds that exist in this region. Swanna. I think it's just Pheasant. I'm gonna lock it in. Let's go with Pheasant, and hopefully, I am not gonna regret not using that last lifeline.
All right, sounds good, Chip. I will use or whatever. Do the last lifeline for anyone who's listening. It is a stage one Pokemon.
No! Is it Swanna?
No. What is the stage one of Pheasant?
It's freaking Tranquil?
Yes. I do. You know,
No.
honestly, as this one was playing out, you did make a good point at the beginning. Like this was not that much information to go off of, but honestly, stage ones are just like the hardest things to guess. I feel like stage one's in a stage two
Tranquil?
line.
Dude,
Dude,
no,
I thought you were gonna get it
no.
instantly when you like immediately locked on to Pheasant, and then apparently all the cards in Black Ball and White Flare are from what was it? What is it? Gen
Pokemon
5.
Black and White.
Yeah, but like, wouldn't there? I didn't know they were only from that gen though. I mean, it does make sense.
It was a special thing.
Yeah. Yeah, but this was I'm not gonna lie, this
Dude.
one's a little embarrassing for you, Chip. You should have at least got a point here for sure. This
If
is
I had used my last
um,
lifeline, I wonder if I would have said Swanna or if I would have gone Tranquil.
yeah, you didn't even mention you didn't even like mention Tranquil. Actually, maybe would have said Swanna then actually, right? Wouldn't you have?
Maybe. I don't know if Swanna's in Black Bolt or White Flare though.
Yeah, I thought this was a pretty good fight. I dude, like I definitely feel like I got away with one here because this was well, as you were putting this together, I was like, well, the question is
Yeah.
how many points is he going to get?
Swanna's in White Flare. I wouldn't have known that though.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just
Dang.
thinking about how many points you were gonna get at some point. I was like, damn, well, I guess he's racking them up.
Oops. What other flying dude set? Not Sir. What
Anything
other
else on your
flying
mind?
guys are there? It was literally only gonna be one of those, I guess. Oh, Braviary. I wasn't thinking
Ooh.
about I knew there had to be some other flying guy that I wasn't thinking of.
Honestly, your lack of knowledge here a little bit actually hurt me more
Okay.
than you. No, because if you had more knowledge, you would have been like Braviary, Swanna.
Yeah.
I need you
Gave
to
me
be
more of a
more.
chance to lock in on Tranquil. Dang, man. I wanted to go for the 2 points.
You got greedy. The punish
Ugh,
comes through.
it
Wait, would
definitely is a
you?
little bit of a punish.
But yeah, but you don't. I don't think you probably would have just said Swanna if I said stage
I
one,
mean, I
right?
had like I probably would have talked through the possibility of it being Tranquil
Yeah, yeah.
at that point, but dang, man, that is a bummer for sure.
I have to take advantage of this though. I have to next week. I gotta like grow my lead at least a little bit. But
All right, Azul, as we always do, it is time for us to make a tier list for the European International Championships. A little bit less exciting this time because this format is so played out. There's no new sets.
yeah,
I mean, I feel like even at least like I don't know. I mean, I guess LAIC kind of stunk this year too, so I don't know. A little bit less exciting maybe than normal, but nonetheless, we've got the decks lined up here. And what we're going to do with the tier lists as well with the tiers, it's going to be how good we think the of a play we think the deck is for a tournament
yeah.
for
For
this
UI.
tournament.
Yep. for UIC specifically.
Yes, not like how they stack up
Format.
in the format in general. It's for EUIC this weekend specifically. And I mean, just kicking it off, do you think going into this discussion that there is an S tier deck, a deck or two that you would put above everything else as supremely being the best one or two decks to play this weekend?
Um, yes, but I guess I don't know if I'd put one over the other one. Like, I think I'd put Guardy
Yep.
in there, and the question is just you put Golden Go there alongside it. But the thing is, I think Golden Go is better than Charizard and Dragapult, so either put both of those in S, or it's like SA. Then I would say that Pult and Zard are in B then, or even I mean, maybe that's being a little bit too refined because obviously we could put like 20 tiers or put every deck in their own tier. So maybe it is just as simple as Golden Go and Guardian in the S tier.
I don't know that I'd be convinced necessarily on Golden Go going in there, but I think definitely Gardevoir should go in there. And I think it probably is just straight Gardevoir. I think Guardy Jelly's biggest strength is the Gardevoir mirror match, but straight Gardevoir seems to just be a little bit more streamlined and better against the other stuff if you're still playing Frillish in the deck, right? Like, I think
Yeah.
straight Guardy feels better against Pult. Maybe Jelly Guardy is slightly better against Golden Go, but I still think straight
Yeah.
Guardy is fine against Golden Go, right? Um,
I think Pult has to be the well,
but like going to Europe where so many good players play Pult and it has been just so popular, I think it's hard to not just put straight Guardy
also I
into S tier.
you could say the same thing for Zard as well, right? Like that's where Zard has been strongest has been Europe. Like a lot of really, really strong European players are playing Zard.
Yes,
For
but
Zard's been most successful.
think we're experiencing Dragapult highs right now in the format, and so because of that, I would have a
Yeah, yeah,
really
yeah.
hard time putting a Charizard deck above B tier.
Sure, sure, sure. Yeah.
But I think Gardevoir is solidly my thoughts when I was thinking about the episode today is like straight Guardy feels like it is the standout best play for the weekend in my mind.
sure. I can see the argument like for that for sure. Yeah. Oh well, I guess like my full argument back would be like there's an argument for Jelly Guardy to be as good of a play because of the Charizard matchup. Where I feel like Jelly Guardy with Devo is
Mhm.
the better of the Guardy decks up against Charizard probably. But
Sure, I mean, I would be it would be kind of funny, but, like, it would be maybe fitting for the tier list to just be the 2 Gardevoir like, I mean, is there anything that better encapsulates the last couple years of Pokemon than just, like, Gardevoir is the deck, you know?
yeah.
However
And
you
then
wanna
yeah, yeah.
play it.
And then like you said, you gain the edge in the mirror by the Jelly Guardy, but you do
Yeah.
your pulp matchup does suffer. Like it's not terrible. I don't know truly where it stands. It depends on lists. Like we like the list from Azevedo, right? Like it's Jelly Guardy, but it's got a 3-3-2 Curly or Guardy line, so it's like more
Yeah.
equipped for item lock matchup. So no TMD there
Yeah.
though, right? Yeah, so
Those
that
will be
those
the
are the
interesting
two big
things
players.
because there are just so it's like it's almost gonna be like a little bit of a Gardevoir invasion of Europe, right? Because a lot of the best European players like, there are good European players, of course, and great European players that play Gardevoir, but, like,
There's less, way less.
there's way less compared to other regions.
Yeah.
And at EUIC, I mean, Henry Chow, Aban, and crew are gonna be there, right?
And the Latin American players, I feel like
And yep.
they've also been bringing the Guardy pretty consistently now,
Yeah,
for
I was
sure.
getting to that, and then also, like, Brent Donison is gonna be there and playing Gardevoir probably. I think Natalie at Auckland played Absol, right? So I don't know what
Yeah.
she's gonna play.
Sydney
James
as well,
Cox,
I
I'm not
think.
sure. Did she play it? I didn't see at Sydney, but yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense if that's what she played at Auckland, right? So yeah, I think that we're just setting up for like a Gardevoir dominated tournament.
Yeah, I could definitely see it. Well, but I don't know, but that, like, does give the opportunity for the Charizard players, especially the ones in Europe. Um, I think Europe, out of all the regions right now, has the highest caliber Charizard play. Like, the players of the highest caliber yeah, you know what I'm saying, are playing like,
Mhm.
tier 1 there's actually tier 1 players playing Charizard, where, like, other regions, there's kind of just not tier 1 players playing Charizard. It really kind of is just Europe. They kind of have, like, Polt and Zard over there as, like, the which is kind of funny because Polt is favored against Charizard. But the Guardies coming over will kind of alleviate some of the Polt pressure on the Charizard players, theoretically. Of course, it all depends on who pairs into who, but, like, some Zard players like, some of all decks will filter towards the top, and that gives the Zard players a better shot for sure. But yeah, I think we could just put Guardies. I think we put both Guardies and S. I would argue the only thing I would argue is maybe Golden. I think the only deck that could go next to them would be Golden Go. I don't think Zard or Pult goes up
I mean,
there.
I feel very strong about like Golden Go and Dragapult just being the A tier decks for this as well, or like at least being here. And then you could maybe make an argument if we're going this route that a Charizard deck should be up here as well. But I mean, I think Golden Go is definitely A tier,
Yeah,
and
I would
I
argue
know
Pult's
you're going to be
lower.
less high on Poltnor for sure.
Yeah, and I also another thing I guess I would say in favor of just Guardy Jelly, even though we've kind of moved past Guardy at this point, is like we've seen the Golden Go players. They're cutting the item lock text. I mean, they still have the line as aid, but like they don't have Lopunnies and Mawiles like quite as high of a rate as they have been. So another kind of point for I think Jelly Guardy over
Yeah, I will say I do
one
think
for Lish.
Dude, Golden Go players are definitely trolling for not playing Lopunny. I think Lopunny is so good in that deck.
Well, but if
It
people
just fixes
are
so many of the potential problems.
it just depends on where the people are with the tech stuff. There's no cornerstones, which there kind of isn't. I think Mawile is the better inclusion because it can do kind of the same thing against the Jelly matchup as like an infinite attacker, and then it is also a good attacker against Toadscroll as well. You just need to draw like 2 prize cards with your Golden Go, and then it KOs the Toadscrolls over and over and over again. So I think the Mawile is the better inclusion if you don't think Cornerstone's going to pop up. But there is kind of this it does feel like there's a gap in the meta right now where there could be a comeback of like Crustals and Toadscroll or an
Yeah.
Ogerpons in like the Mega Absols right now. So that is
I
like another thing for the Golden Go players to think about, I think, headed to TUIC.
I do feel like we are getting there in the cycle where Ryukis and Tords of the world, the Mega Absol box players, will maybe think about busting out the cornerstones this weekend.
Yeah, I could definitely see it. And we've been seeing some Mega Absol players just kind of stay true to that. And despite like, I
Yeah.
mean, they probably didn't have the best time the last couple weeks before this weekend, but it is coming around again where it's like the cornerstone does feel like it is reasonably positioned for sure. But
Yeah.
I think Golden Go. I would almost want to put Golden Go. I just want to keep Golden Go separate from Polt. I think it is a tier above Pult overall.
Yeah.
Success
And
wise, there's a good chance it's not as successful, but that's because, like we already talked about a little bit, the best players in the game are less likely to gravitate towards Golden Go. But there is still some out there. We've had Smart, Magda, Miloslav, all of them been playing Golden Go pretty consistently. Stefan as well. So there is some. It's just at a lower rate for sure.
yeah, honestly, and I think as well with us having the Gardevoirs just being if we think that Gardevoirs are like just this good of a play, then it would make sense that Dragapult should fall down at least this far, right?
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I like this lineup.
Let's keep our thinking consistent, I guess, through our placements here, right?
So that
And so
means
that does mean maybe a Charizard should go up here. And there's 3 options for Charizard decks. And you did mention if you want to play Charizard right now, maybe the one is the Charizard Dragapult. Is Azul gonna
yeah.
put
But
Charizard
see, that's
Dragapult in A tier?
no, I don't think so. But see, that's why this is such a good exercise to like go through because like it's hard like when you like start to collect your all thoughts in the moment and like go through this. I think Poltzard is still probably the the worst way to play Charizard because I think you need to take the gamble on dodging Polt if you're the Zard player to like be truly like full like to maximize your potential success in the
Well,
tournament. I think it makes probably just Terrazard or like the secret box Zard that we've seen Hermione and Oyvind play so much recently. I think probably just taking the gamble on one of those Zards is going to lead to the most potential success. The dodge Polt.
so one thing to consider. I mean, we haven't done our meta shares yet.
True.
Polt was 16% in Birmingham. I kind of thought it was more for some reason. But the trend these last few tournaments, I mean, has been Polt separating itself from the rest of the field, right?
Yeah, I think it was even a
Um,
little bit more popular at Sydney, right? Because you didn't have the thing
did I not have
on.
the grouping on?
No, yeah,
I'll go back and look.
22
But I
at
mean,
Santiago.
Santiago 22%, Sydney grouping
Yeah, like
uh
18, 19.
18%. So
Wait, what's getting adding in there? Is it like straight Polts?
Oh, it might be adding in, you know what it's adding in? It's adding in Charizard Dragapult.
Oh, is it?
For sure,
It
right?
probably is. Yeah, you're right. Which which does make things a little weird because like Charizard Dragapult's like Golden Go matchup is a little bit better. Yeah, a lot of it has to be Zard Pult, I guess, right? That's where a lot of its probably percentage increase
Yeah.
actually is coming from, which as a deck I don't rate too highly, but
So, but so here's the thing, like, yes, hoping to just dodge Pult or like let that be like your one loss or whatever is kind of just wishful thinking, probably.
well, I will
Where
say Pult Zard
Pult
is way less scary for Charizard than Pult Noir. You're much more
will,
comfortable into that matchup,
sure,
like as
sure.
Charizard.
But I mean, Dragapult is, I'm thinking is like 18%
Wait, but that's without Pulsar?
without
I think
Pulsar.
without Pulsar is closer to like 16.
Well, that's what it's been, but the
Yeah, but
trend seems to be up on Dragapult right now.
that's because of Pulsar, I think fully. Like that's like a full Pulsar increase.
What was it in Santiago without the event grouping off? 18%.
It's only 16 in Sydney though. Okay, we can
It
give us
was.
let's go 17. Let's go 17. Meet me in the
I
middle.
I do think the trend is upwards though, because it is one of those things as well. Here's another thing, okay? It Like I said, I feel like Poltnor is kind of like the gatekeeper deck of the format, and it's also like one
Yeah.
of, it's probably of the 3 best decks, the easiest one to play proficiently.
Yeah. And I also like maybe I agree with you a little bit as well because it feels like as the format has drained on, it probably is the deck that more people will gravitate towards because it does feel like a deck you have more control over without having to learn Gardevoir. Like you have
Yes.
more control over your games and you don't have to learn Gardevoir. So it's like if you're sick of Golden Go, if you're sick of losing to Pult as Charizard,
Yep.
you probably end up on Pult yourself, which is fair.
So with that being said, even though we don't think it's a great play, it's hard for me to justify
Well, I don't know if
seeing
I'd put
this
a
as an,
Charizard in A, yeah.
yeah, it's hard for me to justify putting a Charizard in A if this is going to be the most popular deck, and I think it's
Yeah.
going to be the most popular deck.
All right, let's give it 18%. Yeah, you've convinced me. You've convinced me. Let's go with 18%. And then I think we pick the Charizard deck that we think is the best, and we put that in B tier with Pult, and the other Charizard decks fall below that.
Well, I would be down to put 2 Charizard decks with it, being Charizard Noctowl as the best of the Charizard decks, I think. I
Mhm.
know you think, I know you're a big Charizard Pidgeot fan,
I
but I
think
think,
Charizard is the most power like, it's the
yeah,
best. It is the best Charizard deck. Yeah, I agree.
most options, like, the most, I almost feel like Charizard Pidgeot, especially the way you were playing it too without Dusknoir and stuff, it's like it's almost too straightforward. It's too fair for all the potential things you can do with Charizard, you know what I mean?
I still had Briar in there, okay? I still had Briar. I still had Briar. People
Briar
were
is an
cutting Briar
unfair
from that
card,
build.
but no way to, like, your opponent can pretty easily play around, Briar without, when you don't have Dusknoir, so
I mean, I'm still down to just put one Charizard deck in the well, unless you wanna put, like see,
it would be
see, if
this
we
one.
no.
I know I'm gonna get some pushback from you on this.
If you really wanna put it up there I mean, the deck is, like, super it's just super fine. The deck is just super fine.
I mean, it's not gonna be a very played version of the deck for sure.
No.
But I think, like, I definitely think it's better positioned than this. Like, I don't feel like these should be in the same tier, you know?
Yeah, I guess, like, the only thing is, like, when we have Terrazard
But
well, actually, I don't know.
I would be down for these to be in the same tier.
If we're talking about, are we just we're saying, like, the Terrazard is also, like, the Secret Box Zard deck as well. It's kinda the same thing, right? Like, the big combo Zard decks,
Yeah, like with
the Hermione
the
Oiven build. We're
yeah, the
including
water
in
pond.
Terrazard, and we're saying Zard Pidgeot is, like, the just no Dusknoir build.
Well, there are some people with Dusknoir still, but no, owls,
No, that's
right?
what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like in the Charizard Noctowl build, we're like including the idea that that is also like the Hermione Oiven builds with the Secret Box and the Dusknoirs and
Yeah, because it still
yeah,
has
yeah.
Noctowl and stuff too.
No. They don't have Noctowl in there.
No?
No. That's what I'm saying. Like we're just keeping like the big combo Zards are basically all the Zard Noctowl decks. Their deck plays pretty like it's pretty similar to Zard Noctowl. It has like a slightly better. It's got like a better pulp matchup.
Sure.
You want to confirm they don't have Noctowl? Yeah,
It's just not,
no, that's
I was thinking of, I said water pond. I was talking about the other, like,
oh, no.
yeah.
No, I was talking about
I think
this.
we were talking about 2 different things. Okay.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, we're treating Zard Pidgeot on the tier list as, like, a no Dusknoir build, and we're assuming this is kind of,
No,
like, in the
this is
Charizard build,
no,
or you wanna
I'm
assume that's
assuming
in there?
that this is Charizard Pidgeot because this is how most people are playing Charizard Pidgeot.
Okay, sure, sure, sure. So we're just assuming this is, like, but see, then I would just, like, kinda I would almost just put that in the same tier as the Noctowl deck. I think they're pretty comparable. Like, I think the Noctowl deck is, like, a more powerful deck overall, but, like, you have a wider matchup spread with the Secret Box build, so I think they're pretty comparable. That's why I was saying it was so maybe we could just, like, I'd put, like, Charizard Pidgeot and Charizard Noctowl up there, and then I'd move Poltzar down. That's how I would look at it then, because I think
Sure.
they're pretty comparable decks and just, like, they don't have the exact same matchup spread, but I think it, like, evens out pretty reasonably
What
overall.
if they're just all up here?
I mean, Poltzar's as good as Poltnor, which is crazy.
I mean, I think as a play for the weekend, like if you want to play Dragapult in your deck, but you want to feel okay against the Gardevoir matchup, should your deck play Charizard in it too, or like feel like you have a better chance?
Yeah.
You know,
We can keep it. I'm down to keep. We can keep it there. That's fine. Yeah, we'll give him like what
we'll just
Charizard.
like none of this has to be definitive right
Yeah, yeah,
now
yeah, yeah.
as we
Put
talk through it.
Poltzard.
You know,
Yeah, put Poltzard at like 4, and then the other Zards at like 5 each or something.
let's
Or we
see
could do like
what.
6-4. Or actually, the Pidgeot version is gonna be way less played, so it's gonna be like maybe like 7-3.
Well, pull this one is going to be the lowest, two like two ish, and I think that, I mean, we might see it go up to like 2.5 because it has had decent success recently, right?
But what
Two
are we? We're
second
look. This
places.
is this is Birmingham, right?
Oh
Let's
yeah, I
look
went too
at.
far back.
Actually, that's
Yeah.
what we should do. We should look at Santiago. What does Santiago say? Because that's where I had the big Polt numbers.
Well, I'm thinking I want to get like a big field as well, right?
4.
7% and then 4.3, and then see. So it is like just going from Birmingham to now on the up. Which one was it that it was Merida, right? Jesper got second. What
Yeah.
was it there? 2%.
Mhm.
So I mean, it's on 2.5%. So it's definitely like on the up. Zard, that is Polt Zard.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I would say Paul Zord 4 or 5, and then the other Zards like 3 and 7 or something like that.
What was it in Sydney? It was lower in Sydney,
Yeah.
but they have. It's almost like one of these things where it's like there's less tournaments, so some of the lower tier stuff will move slower, right?
Yeah.
In the region.
I've also heard like some of the Australian players like sometimes that like I'm pretty sure that they like their format is more top heavy. Like
Yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
good established decks are played at like a higher rate than like the other regions.
And Charizard Pidgeot. So Charizard Pidgeot, Charizard Dragapult around the same meta share. Probably
Yeah.
Charizard Pidgeot's like 5.
I was gonna say 3 and then give the other one 7. I feel like Charizard Pidgeot has like no
I mean, I could see this
got like
coming
no
I could
hype
see
behind it at
this
all.
coming down from
Yeah,
7
yeah.
like 7 to 6, you know?
Yeah, I could see that as well. And then
6
3.
6 5 4.
I would
Well,
Charizard
I mean,
Pidgeot,
I
I think
think
it'll be
looking
3.
at the recent year, so let's remember where we're going, right?
Yeah. But it's
So
like
looking at,
but it's a very like, it's still only like 3% here, I think. 4?
yes, but
3.6.
people
Deck
people
has
who
no
were at
hype.
this tournament saw success. There's not that much hype, but it's like people look at
That's what I'm yeah,
results,
well, that's what I'm saying, there's, like, no hype behind the Charizard Pidgeot.
so it's just stagnant. So it's like 3.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that's what I'm
Okay, okay,
saying.
maybe so.
It's got no motion.
No motion. And then do you think any of these other decks make it in B or above for this weekend? We've got for because some of it's covered. We've got Grimmsnarl, Absol, Alakazam, Inzorg, Raging Bolt, Kangaskhan, Bouffalant, and then Flareon Noctowl.
The only one I could see an argument for, I think, would be Zoroark, but I don't know what that build of Zoroark would look like. So whatever Liam Halliburton has cooked up might be in B tier or maybe even A, but I don't
Have
know
you
what
seen
that
what Piper has
is.
said about the deck on Twitter?
How bad it is?
Yeah, yeah.
No,
And she was
I
one
have
of
not seen
Zorark's
this.
biggest defenders for a while, or soldiers, I should
No.
say. Let's see what she say. She said it was
I know pe
after the announcement
of no
of,
Zekrom.
yeah, she called it unserious. Yeah. No Zekrom equals Zork is still unserious. Guess I'm playing Guardy again.
Yeah. I mean, Liam was pretty close to cut at Toronto. Like he was right there. Um,
His build was cool too.
yeah, and maybe it is just kind of the same build. Maybe he's gonna play. I don't even know if he's going to UIC, but maybe he would play the same 60. That's the only deck I think I could see an argument for. Obviously, Grim has had like a pretty good showing recently, but maybe I could be swayed on Grim being in B. To be honest, maybe I could be swayed. That would be it. Would be Grim and Zorak. I think those are the only ones I could see being up there in the B tier.
Yeah, Grim is definitely a little bit of a deck that feels like it's got a
I like
little
the
bit
way
of
people I like the builds as well recently. I feel like some people have
mhm.
been figuring out, like, the best ways to play it to tackle everything that they need to tackle in the metagame, and that's why we've probably been seeing that extra success from it, but I'm not, like, blown away by it still. Like, I don't think I'd be like, I don't know what kind of success someone would have to have with it or the deck would have to have for me to be like, "Oh, it should be like a A tier deck," so,
I mean, it won Merida, right?
yeah. 1 Merida,
And
we
then
saw
it's had
Kato get
several top cuts.
yeah, it's been up there in Top Cut, but yeah, so that those would be the 2 that I could see making an argument for, but it still feels like a big thing for it is like, is there going to be picnic basket in the golden goes? Even the bravery charm can be a lot to overcome because that just kind of acts as like
I didn't know this was linked here.
because that acts as like the extra health you need to overcome the TM Devo play. So yeah,
It
I still
didn't
want to
have a
put it a
great
tier
weekend
below.
this past weekend, I guess is worth noting.
Yeah, I would still argue to put it the tier below. If I had like personally been playing with the deck recently, maybe that would be enough for me to be like, oh yeah, I think it is there right now, but not overwhelmingly positive results, and then lack of play on my part makes me wanna stay and see with it.
But is it gonna sneak up into uh it was a higher share at Sydney, right?
I think
It's a
so.
little bit of a anomaly, I feel like. I
Probably
don't feel
around,
like
like,
it's gonna be 4. Okay, yeah, I feel fine with
4.5,
that.
4.
4.5.
We should give
Sure.
Golden Go a number here. Golden Go 16, 15,
F
14.
I think 15. It's maybe slightly down, but still it's not the number 1 deck definitively in the
Yeah.
room, I think, like it had
I mean,
been.
I could see it being I could see it being more popular than Polnor. Polnor has been
I don't
there for
think
a
it would
little
be a
while.
shock.
I actually was kinda surprised now that we've kinda talked through it. I thought I would just kind of assume Golden Go would have been the most popular deck the rest of the format, to be honest, but
It does feel like
Polnor
Golden Go's hype and, like, uh, I don't know, it's just died down so much. I think the deck is, like, very uninteresting to play. Is kind of like a big issue. I don't know. I think a lot of people are kinda uninterested in playing it for that reason.
inspiring Pokemon deck.
I do think Gardevoir will be more in line play rate wise with what we saw like at Birmingham, like
Yeah, in terms of
where it was
popularity.
less popular.
Oh, where's
Um,
less?
yeah, I think it'll be like more popular than this, but I don't think it will be like as popular as it is at like the US regionals, like it
Sure,
was in Toronto.
yeah, like maybe like 6 and 6 or something. Of
Yeah,
the I don't know if there's been like a big separation in the last couple tournaments in Guardy variants. That is, or has it been pretty even?
it's been I think more jelly
Yeah,
favored. I want to say, but Straight Guardy did win here. Yeah, Jelly
7-5.
6.9 and 5. And then Sydney, it was 7.5 and
Yeah,
4.8.
let's just do 7 and 5 then.
Sure. But I think Straight Guardy is like the better one this weekend.
Yeah,
Absol box, I
I still
think
put it. Yeah, in C tier,
C is fine.
4%, 4.5.
Yeah, 4%. The Dunsparce Alakazam, it's a cool deck.
Cool deck. I would love to see it in top cut. Like,
I
don't get it
would for
wrong.
sure.
Yeah,
Don't anytime we put the deck that you're wanting to play in D tier, don't let it dissuade you from playing it.
yeah.
Honestly, let it be fuel. I
Get
want
mad at
you
Chip.
to like prove us wrong. I want you to make me be casting your game
Yeah.
with Alakazam to Dunsparce, you know. But
Every time you sit down for a round, picture Chip in your head, and then and then get into the match.
just it's like the have you ever seen the movie Waterboy?
It's been
where
so
he
long.
where he pictures his mom's face on all the opposing players to like because his mom is like so is like what's holding him back, you know,
Yeah.
like sheltering him and keeping him from like pushing forward. So he picked There you go. Picture your opponent with Chip's face,
Yeah.
and then just draw a million cards and win. There you go.
2%. I'll give him 2%, 1.52.
Yeah, I think 2.
Yeah.
I could see it being a little more, to be honest. These big field tournaments as well, because there's so many more, like, 1 tournament a year people at these events,
Yeah.
who are just going for a good time. There are people who are going and who are
True.
playing that know they're not making day 2. They know they're not making top cut. They're gonna roll up with their, Mega Venusaur deck and, just, like, enjoy playing Pokemon, right? And I feel like Alakazam will fit that mold. So I could honestly see it being more popular, not translating to more success necessarily, but just, like, I could, because this
Yeah.
is a fun, interesting deck to play. So I kinda wanna put it at, like, 3, to be
True.
honest.
That's fair.
Zoroark, I think, is probably C tier, right? And has potential to be like in. I think it's like if we were saying instead of in Zoroark, Liam's Zoroark, I'd be fine putting it in B, maybe even A tier. But if
If
it
he
has to
has
be
come
in
up with
Zoroark,
Yeah, if he
yeah,
has come up with something new, something different, like, whatever that might be. But, yeah, I'm okay with that as well. 1%, 2, probably 2, right? 2
yeah,
or 3?
probably at least two. Raging Bolt is a deck that feels like it's gotten a little bit more talk recently. I don't feel like it necessarily has separated itself or has come back enough in the format to be above this spot, but
I would almost be prompted to put it in C, basically just off the fact of, like, the amount of, like, undertested people are against it, and there's just no one's teching for it. Like, I mean, what I guess
nobody
what
cares
teching
about Raging
yeah, nobody
Bolts.
cares. Like, I almost wanna put it in C tier. Like, I almost think it's actually, like, a not that bad of a play right now. Mostly on the it's I guess it's, like, the one reason I kind of go to that, it's just because people used to care a lot about Raging Bolts. Um, we haven't cared in quite a while. But, yeah, I think I would put it in C. I think I'd put it in C.
Okay.
And honestly, it does to me, it does feel like one of those decks where if, like, it's another deck where it's like, if I had put time in with this deck, I could see myself putting this in B tier, but it's like one of those decks where I feel like it has the potential actually in this format, in this metagame. Like, we've been seeing decent amount of success for it. I really like the build that Andreas and Yurko have been having success with as well. I like what they're like the build that's being played right now as well. So yeah, I might be a Raging Bolt enjoyer right now. I'm not gonna lie.
4%,
Yeah,
5%.
4, yeah, 4 or 5.
Kangaskhan,
D tier.
D tier, 1%.
Yeah, unless someone solves the gold. If you solve the Golden Go matchup, I feel like it's still kind of unsolved.
What if you just play 3 Moltres and 3 Brave Bengal?
I don't think it'll cut it. I'm not gonna lie.
Mm, that's kinda sad, honestly.
Yeah. I think you'd lose to everything else, to be honest. I think that would be the problem is you wouldn't be able to beat anything else
The deck would
with
just have
6
6 dead cards on
yeah,
there
6
against everything
dead
else.
6 dead cards.
Okay, 2 Moltres, 2 Defiant, 2 what's it called? Bengals, 1
Sure.
Defiance.
That is what we saw. Someone playing a couple players playing
They
at
played that in
Toronto,
Mega
right?
Absol, right?
Yeah. Feels like I mean, not to say it's one of those things where it's just like I just kinda let the player base decide things sometimes when I look at those things where it's like people caught onto the Toad Scroll more than that, so I just assume the Toad Scroll is the better way to go. And if that's true, then that means the Moltres isn't good enough, which means it's not good enough for any deck, probably. You probably have to if it's not if you can't make Toad Scroll work in the deck, which I don't think it works very well in Kangaskhan in comparison to Absol. Works a lot better in Absol. So yeah, I listen, I love Tank Kangaskhan, but I have no hope. Even despite its cut over the weekend.
And then last up, Flareon. I think this is one, again, similarly to Inzark. If this said Emma's Flareon and Noctowl, I'm putting it in B and A tier. But I think like just Flareon in general as a deck, it feels just fine. And
Super fine, yeah.
I can definitely see like I think Emma will surely have a good tournament, right? But I mean, we've seen even when Emma's been on stream, right? Like this deck has a really hard time against Gardevoir, and we think Gardevoir is going to do really well this weekend, right?
Yeah, and I'm actually tempted to put Flareon
Yeah,
in D tier.
I think it has a bad time against Dragapult too.
Yeah, I think I'd put it in D tier. Yeah. I just have no confidence in the deck. Like those matchups are just too tough. I think like normally in Europe, you you just have to worry about Guardy less, to be honest. Like, but you always have to worry about the pulse, obviously. But now the Guardies are going to be at like such a higher efficiency rate with the level of players that are going to be playing Guardy at this event. So I just, yeah, I mean, Emma's probably going to get top 16, maybe even make her way into ASIM. But yeah, like that's yeah, like you said, we're not gauging Emma's Flareon. We're gauging like Flareon as a play, making no mistakes with the deck. Then maybe, but yeah, I think it's got to be D tier.
And 1%. So right now we've got 77.5% of the meta predicted.
Pretty good, I think. Like you said, it's gonna
Still
be a little bit wider. People are gonna be bringing their favorite Venusaur and stuff like that. Looking
32, 39, 45, 54.5. It probably is going to be a little bit top heavier. Like we'll see thicker numbers in here somewhere. I guess like so the Charizard. I'm just thinking through this is like what did I just say 50
4.
54.5 and normally we see like
Are you including Grim in that percentage? Oh yeah, you are
yeah,
because
I'm
you
thinking about
got
the top 6 graphic, right?
oh sure.
And normally in the top 6 graphic, I think Robin still puts him at the bottom of this. Nope. Does he?
I don't think so.
Standings,
Statistics?
statistics, maybe. Oh, this. Oh, that's so good. You can just click on this and go straight to labs. I don't know if that's been there for forever, but that's good. No, it's not here.
It's because he does it better. Why would he ever show?
It's you're right. You are right. But there was a time where if we look at statistics, I just clicked on a random tournament.
There we go.
So 60% ish, at least at this
We
tournament. I feel like that's like a normal-ish number where we
yeah,
see
and
like 60-ish percent accounted for. And right now we're at
but this is like a
54.5.
this is a
But if you
top heavy
group
format though. So like
if
I
you
think
throw this Charizard up here, which it might group with it naturally with the pairings setup we have,
oh yeah,
that
yeah,
puts
yeah.
us at 57.5. So that's
So
pretty close.
will Pulsar be in one of those percentages as well? It probably will, right? Or did you include that already?
No, it probably would be in one of them. Yeah, yeah. I did
Yeah.
not. I forgot to include it. Yeah.
So yeah, we're up there. I think if anything, Golden Go will probably be more popular, but the other numbers are probably pretty close. Yeah. Yeah, no matter how good of a play we think Guardy's gonna be, it's never gonna be the most popular deck at the tournament. And everyone will probably I mean, you'd probably be hard pressed to find someone who would disagree that Guardy is not just like the best overall deck.
Any thing you see on this list where you're like, I kind of want to move this up or down? How do you feel about the 3 Charizards all in B tier?
Yeah, I think it's fine. Except yeah, if we're counting Charizard Pidgeot as the other one, like I said, I think those are comparable. I think there will be a gap in like there will be potential for Charizard to win this tournament. Because I think the Pulse can definitely be checked by Guardian, the Golden Goes. Pulse Art, of course, but we already kind of went over that. The biggest thing is actually like I could definitely see some of these C tier decks being up a tier, but my confidence, I don't have any confidence in them just because I haven't played any of them at all recently. So that's like the only thing. Like I don't know, I don't want to change any of it, but like yeah, I could see the C tier decks moving, a couple of them moving up potentially into the B tier.
There you go. That's the Uncommon Energy EUIC meta prediction tier list. For everyone who skipped to this point in the video, hi, how's it going? Be sure to become a YouTube channel member or Spotify subscriber. Just kidding. Anyway, um, but yeah, I think that we feel good about where this is at. We do have some predictions that we wanted to make heading into the weekend. And first one, off of its top cut in Santiago. Azul, what do you think the highest placing Alakazam will be at EUIC this weekend? A 3% meta share deck, we're predicting.
I'm gonna go with
Top 4?
See, one of the things that always is always gonna hurt these decks potential is that like an IC. There's just so many good players. It's
Yep.
just so much harder for these kind of decks to because no tier one player is gonna play Alakazam. Like,
Yep.
or it's not bringing Alakazam. Brent's not bringing Alakazam. I'm gonna go with a top, but you could squeak in there. I'm gonna go with the top 128. I want to go 64, but I'm gonna take it down a peg further.
my thought process was the top 64, and I think that it's got that potential. It got top 32, I think, in Toronto. Like, it's had it's been there, it's okay. Alex Sam's doing his thing. It did not get top 32 in Toronto. Why did I think it got top 32 in Toronto?
I'm sure there's
Was it
some top
Birmingham? Oh, it
30s
was
in there.
Birmingham. It wasn't Birmingham. It was Birmingham. Yeah, I got top 32 in Birmingham. So the last European regionals, it got top 32, right? Has a top cut. Yeah, I'm like in the I think I'm good with the top 64.
All right, sounds good.
All right, one of the things with the ICs, of course, is that on Championship Sunday, we'll see the juniors and seniors final matches being played out. So pick a deck to make it to the finals of either of those two divisions. Pick a deck that will be featured on stage on Championship Sunday, not in the Masters finals, but in juniors and seniors. What do you think? You
I
got
did think,
4 chances.
yeah, I thought about this slightly more. I feel like we should veto Poltzard from from the options here because I
Polzard is
think
probably the best choice.
yes, I think the best senior or junior player will be playing Poltzard. Although I think Omar might have an argument for that, but I think Nathan is would have my vote for best senior or junior player currently
Yeah.
out there. So let's veto Poltzard, and I'm actually gonna go with uh Mega Absol box because I've been seeing it pop up a decent amount in some of the more recent results in the juniors and seniors divisions. So I'm gonna go ahead and say we might see that repeat here in at UIC.
Interesting. Yeah, dude, the finals of Merida in
Yeah.
seniors was literally Poltzard mirror. Kinji got first place in Merida with Poltzard. Oh man. Yeah, I'm probably gonna say maybe Golden Go, I guess. Golden Go?
Can't go wrong with Golden Go, I don't think.
It's like and it's probably of the best decks. Like it has a better Polt Zard matchup than Dragapult or Gardevoir does, probably of those three. It has the best probably Charizard Polt matchup. Wouldn't you is that reasonable thinking?
Besides what other two decks?
Gardevoir or Polt, like straight Polt Noir.
Well, Poltnor's favored against Poltzard, but the Golden Go's fine, I think, as well. Like, can hang. I don't know if Poltnor do junior senior players play Poltnor?
They
Like, I
maybe
that's always
don't.
like I don't think Gardevoir's played at a very high rate. I have to imagine Golden Go is, and now Poltzard, who knows where those numbers are?
Dude, there's like no Golden Go in Top Cut at Merida. Let me look at Birmingham seniors. There's a couple Golden Go. One
Yeah.
Golden Go.
We can check the metagames here as well. Yeah, Guardy is definitely not it's comparable.
Seniors metagame. Okay. Sure. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Golden Go. I feel fine with that.
Pick. It's a good pick. Not as good as my pick, but
You
second
said
best pick on the
what?
cast.
Oh, you said Mega Box.
Mega box.
Yeah, I think that's a terrible pick, honestly.
Hey, we'll see how the weekend breaks down.
Mhm. And then pick a player to make cuts.
I'm just gonna be backstage getting juniors and seniors with Mega Box DQ'd.
Oh man.
All right, I'm gonna go with one. It's a super easy pick. I'm gonna go with an extended prediction. I'm going Pedro Pertusi, back to
Hmm.
back cuts, back to back
Ooh,
dubs. I'm gonna predict
Dubs.
the dub, the second ever Masters Division player to get back to back IC wins.
I'm
I'm
glad you
assuming he's
didn't.
going.
I'm glad you didn't pick my pick because I'm going with a great scripted pick
Hmm,
for sure.
you do
And I
have
mean,
that.
you have to remember, I'm backstage. I've got the script. Like I know what's going to happen. And I think we're going to see one of the great players of the last couple years finally get his first international win this weekend. Not just a cut, but win. I'm giving it to Henry Chow
Oh,
with the
okay.
dub with the Guardy.
I better say Grant Manley.
I said one of the great players, bro, of the last couple years. Come on.
Oh, now it looks like I dissed him, bro. You put that back on me. It's all love. It's all love. Grant making cut would be an easy prediction as well. He doesn't play
Well,
anything weird. Lost box. Yeah, that's a good. He's also been. Has he got a cut recently? Or is he still but kind of
yeah,
in a
Chow
dry
just
spell of the
cut
cuts?
Toronto.
Yes, he did. You're right. You're right.
Yeah, he just cut Toronto. And he's I don't know, maybe he needs to stop giving out his deck list for free to everyone, but he does keep doing that, so maybe if
Mm,
he doesn't win, someone with his 60 will win.
yeah. Maybe that's like that's the goal, right? You're looking to dominate tournaments so hard, the ones you don't win, your list still like very obviously your list won the tournament still. So
Yeah.
it's like a next
I'm
level
gonna
of
be really
dominance.
interested to see I mean, I think Henry is obviously a great Pokemon TCG player, but his success is so intertwined with Gardevoir right now. I mean, I'm sure he'll be able to still succeed post Gardevoir rotating,
It'll
right?
be
But, like,
interesting to see how he tackles the game for sure.
is he gonna be switching decks between tournaments? Is he gonna find something that he latches onto right away and, like, just sticks with for forever again? Like,
Yeah.
it'll be really
Yeah.
interesting to see.
And again, because like another thing to put with that, which makes it more interesting, is like Gardevoir. Not like this doesn't knock on Henry's success at all, because anyone can play the deck, obviously. But Gardevoir is probably one of the most overtuned archetypes of all time. Of course, he continues to innovate with it, right? So he has
Yeah.
like he gets he constantly has the tools and makes the best use out of makes better use out of the tools than basically anyone with the deck. But it will be interesting to see how he tackles the game when Gardevoir leaves, because it feels like, is it really this often that a deck is this good for this long? Like, I guess
Yeah.
even when you look at like decks like Lugia and Lost Box, they kind of stuck around for like 3 years. Like they made it work for 3 years themselves as well. And Gardevoir's kind of done the same thing. I guess we've had some other decks like do it in the past as well. Usually it feels like there's a bigger fall off period. Like
Yeah.
Charizard had a huge fall off. Lost Box had some fall offs, but
Lugia had a fall off. It was basically like Lugia
yeah,
dominated, Lugia was terrible, Lugia was good again, like, for, like, it was, like, dominated for a year, bad for a year, good for a year, right? Like,
yeah, had its ups and downs.
alright, well, there's our predictions, there's our tier list, and that's, what we got for our episode this week. Um, so you got anything else you wanna say before we get out of here to the weekly bonus episode?
Nope. Send us out.
Well, thanks a bunch to everyone for listening as always. If you did enjoy the podcast, be sure to leave us a like, a review, a rating, comment, subscribe. All those things do help us out so much and help more people to discover the show. Be sure to tune into EUIC this weekend in some capacity. You can watch me commentating on the official stream. You can watch Azul doing co-streams, whichever way you do it. You're just helping the game to continue to succeed. And
Yeah.
it's all good things for sure. So make sure you're tuning in this weekend some way, somehow. See some great Pokemon action. And if you want to stay up to date with myself and Azul, you can do it over on X, the best place to do it. My name, you can follow me over there at Chip Ritchie, Azul at Azul underscore. Nope, Azul GG, no underscore anymore. And you can follow the podcast at Uncommon underscore Energy.
Appreciate the support as always, and we'll catch y'all. I guess we haven't decided for sure. It could be a Tuesday, it could be a Wednesday. Probably a Wednesday because you'll be traveling back.
Yeah, it will be Wednesday next
Okay.
week. Yeah.
We'll catch you all next Wednesday, 7 a.m. Eastern.